Oh my God. Yes, girl. Slay. We have a lovely article from Eliana Doctorman. I don't know why she has man in her name. That's problematic. But at the very least, she wrote a fantastic, I'd say fabulous article. Black Widow began as a sexist stereotype. More than a decade later, Scarlett Johansson is like reclaiming her story. I am old enough to recall when movies didn't come with a damn lecture. Around the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, we were still enjoying a spate of time before all this woke nonsense, where we still had movies that had a moral to the story, but it also left room for nuance. You took away from the story what you wanted to take away from the story. The writer, director, producer, the makers of the film did not browbeat you when you're watching the movie. Do you get it yet? Do you get it yet? But they're not even doing that anymore. Now, they're not even waiting for you to see the film. They're already in the promotional stages of said films. I'm sure you remember, not this one, this was okay. I'm sure you remember Charlie's Angels. In the promotional stages of the films, they're already lecturing you before you even get to the door and placed your ass in the seat. That's what we'll be discussing here tonight on the Brotep Show.
You, turn around.
You prefer the view from behind?
No, well, yes. You know I can't lie.
Now, a little bit of an announcement. Unless things go terribly wrong, we're only doing closed panels for not for a while now. We're going to be doing closed panels. Okay? We can't there's been enough time wasted, enough daylight burned by ideologues who have come on the show and go into narcissistic rants about how much percentage of Native American and Cherokee and Irish and all these different things that they are, wasting everyone's time when there are more important things to discuss. All right? We're not going to be droning on and on about race, about our race, about all sorts of oppression. There's too much money to be made out here, and we're out to get it. We need to promote projects that can progress our lives and progress, I don't know, what's the term? Be the change you want to see, right? So instead of all this complaining that I'm seeing, maybe you either do a project that you believe in or back a project that you believe in. How about that, right? But if anybody sees, and I'm not even tolerating it in the comment section, if anyone sees narcissistic, oppression Olympic, knuckleheads in there, show them to the door. Give them this on the way out. You also get to decide whether the window or door are open or closed when you toss them out. Now, let's get to the main story here. Before we even get to the film, or get out to the theater and quote unquote risk C19 in order to get entertained, right? Before we even get to any of that, or more likely, before we argue with other people in the streets, whether you're endangering their family members, whether you got vaccinated, whether they got vaccinated, whether you're wearing a mask, or whether you look like a surgeon or doctor or a Mortal Kombat ninja, these different things, you have to brave them to go see this film. And before you even get there, before you even get to that stage, they're lecturing you. And the lecture in question is a disingenuous one because we're not the ones who made the movie. We're the ones who saw the movie. But seeing the movie and liking the movie and liking the character, that's a problem. Why? Because how dare you, Dangler boy? We're supposed to find women ugly now, and we're supposed to exalt uglified, manified women. That's what they're promoting. And gone are the butt shots. They used to call them butt shots, or at least they recently call them butt shots. It used to be a thing where a lot of women and guys didn't tell them to do this. Guys didn't tell the actresses to do this. Where if you had a pose in a film, the guy would pose with his chest out. You know what I mean? Maybe like flex his muscles a little bit, a la Van Damme. Who else? Schwarzenegger, what have you. And the women would sort of like give you a sexy silhouette. Maybe they'd stand sideways or three-quarter turn to give you a shot of their butt, and maybe turn. There's a reason why those poses are popular with Sports Illustrated. I'm a art geek, so you'll forgive that. Not Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated. Victoria's Secret model catalogs, all these different things. Those poses are popular for a reason. They appeal to men and women who enjoy the female form. But because now we live in a problematic age, it's all about the patriarchy and oppression. We can't have that anymore. Now the women pose like men. Now it's not as bad here, but you should see the other posters we're getting for some of these films. These women are all yanged out, posting with their chests squared out like dudes. It's fucktarded, but that's where we are because patriarchy.
Shut the fuck up for the 50th billionth time if you'd fucking listen. Can you shut the fuck up for a second too? Rape accusations discredit rape victims, which reinforces rape culture, which is part of patriarchy. The idea of
Now, if we wanted lectures from feminists, we would have taken a gender studies course, right? There are plenty of workshops out there, believe it or not. You don't even have to enroll in a college to get that. They've made the poison publicly available. So if you want indoctrination, there's no shortage of avenues where you could pursue that. But they want it in your entertainment as well, right? Just to go back to Charlie's Angels a little bit. This is a very clip heavy show. Of course, I have no hopes of making this copyright claim free. Like that ship sailed. Now, to get back to Charlie's Angels, I need to make a disclaimer that I have no problem. Well, fuck it. I don't need to make a disclaimer. I'm just saying it just to say it. I have no problem with powerful females, right? And the regular movie-going audience, and specifically guys, we've looked up to that shit like forever. I mean, have we forgotten Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, or Linda Hamilton's, Sarah Connor, or Ellen Ripley, or any of those strong, sexy women? We've forgotten them, yeah? But what they're doing now, Charlie's Angels, which used to be something that men and women actually enjoyed, and I had to look back on this because I don't remember the show. This was a little bit before my time. But when I saw some of the stuff on YouTube and other places, I did enjoy it. It's sort of like a capsule in time where you saw a different time, a different era, and what was considered funny, what was considered sexy, what was considered trendy, these sorts of things. That was enjoyable. But then in the 2000s, we had this reboot. Now, that was more tongue in cheek, but they maintained their femininity, they maintained the sexiness. Then we get this shit. Then we get this, right? And the reason why I'm going all around the world here to make this point is because around, I don't know, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, we had this travesty show up.
I think women can do anything.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should.
But I have so many talents.
It's like I'm powerful with a little bit of tender.
I'm just a decoy stud.
That's just the way you make me feel.
Who steals your manager? Need money.
Ouch.
That dude said what no one's ever said to any woman ever in our age. Now, if he had said this, I don't know, in the 1920s, 1910s or something like that, all right, that would fit. But do you, gentlemen in the audience, have you ever told any woman what came out that man's mouth? That was a straw man argument. And they put it in that guy's mouth in order to get him beat up and to lecture us. You, audience member, you think this about women, and we'll show you. Now, after this, as if, and I need to see who this following director is and what their political position is, because they seem to have been making fun of this, but in a good way. Like, they made this movie that's coming up in 2022 called The 355. Okay, and I looked into it. The 355 is based on Agent 355, which was a female spy during the Revolutionary War. And so the team is called the 355. And it seems like, just like you saw this trailer here, we're going to look at the trailer for the 355. Not only are they sticking or seemingly sticking a finger in Charlie's Angel's eyes, like, hey, this is how you do it, you stupid bitch. Number two, they do it way better. Number three, you feel for the women. It's funny and edgy and everything. Here we go before, I drone on too much.
The old wars, Cold War, War on Terror. We knew who we were fighting. But now the enemy's invisible. They can destabilize entire countries from simple reach of their keyboard.
Officially, I can't put you on this. But if you were to go out on your own,
I would need some help.
I'm guessing this isn't a social call?
I'm putting together a team. You're the best in the world at what you do.
I thought this was done.
I'll be back for dinner tomorrow.
Hands! Put your gun down.
Please?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
Pull the trigger. Or you can listen.
This seems to be a script that was written for guys, and then they replaced the actors with women. Guys say shit like that. It's guys who pull one another's cards immediately, right? Yeah, I'm gonna count to 10. If you don't get, no, I'm gonna count to 5, motherfucker. It's dudes who do that kind of shit. Women don't do it. However, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. And the market for this is clear. Look, women ain't gonna go watch this film. Here's the second part of that.
We all work for different intelligence agencies. American, British, German, Colombian, Chinese.
But now we have a common enemy.
And if we don't stop them, they'll start World War III.
So we need to join forces. You have cameras in your jewelry, comms in your earrings.
This is like half the CIA's most wanted.
You bump, I grab.
I like the new team.
We'll take it from here.
I've got 4 more agents out on the street.
I counted 6, but thanks for the tip.
It's women, but they're doing guy shit. They're talking like guys. All that dialogue was guy shit. Nah, I ain't even gonna hold you. Now, the thing is, I do have a small beef about this, which for me, I'm a borders kind of guy. I'm a borders guy, and I'm a stay in your own home kind of guy. All right. There are varying opinions here and there, but why is it Lupita Nyong'o, that fine sister right there? Why is it they mentioned all these different countries that these spies are representing? Why is it she's representing Great Britain or England or whatever? There are two things wrong with that. First of all, right, so now you've dissatisfied the Brits. So they're being represented by a minority, not the majority of their country. But my main problem as a black guy is, I'm proud to be of African descent. Why is it that Africa was not represented here by that black woman, right? So why is it, I know I promised not to talk about race, but this is not particularly about race. This is about a brain drain. It's called a brain drain. There's a reason why we're having all these different border invasions, because we have brain drains. People should stay where they are and try to build that up. You know what I mean? Every genius that leaves their homeland to go and seek opportunity on someone else's border, they're depriving their own homeland of what they could have created if they stayed home. But that's just my opinion, and it's something that stuck out to me about this trailer here. That's as political as I'm gonna get here.
Llama mamá para la casa.
I have 2 children. I am a normal person. I cannot do this anymore.
The bad guys are out there right now. You go home. You bring them with you. Are you under control?
Are you?
No.
We put ourselves in danger, so others aren't.
We're the 355.
That's why I'm saying I think that they were doing this in order to not only poke fun at Charlie's Angels, but saying like, "Hey, bitch, this is how you do it." Because that scene almost resembles the one where, Mouth Breather was like, "Women can do anything we want," right? But they did it well. And in those scenes in that trailer, I saw self-sacrifice. I saw people in peril. I genuinely worried for them. I saw action stuff. I saw very well-timed dialogue, very good stuff, and I can't wait for this film, right? And fifth of all, I went through 4 things. Fifth of all, I wasn't lectured to. They didn't come out with anything about black oppression, feminism, LGBTQIA, border patrol with Mexicans or Arabs over in Europe, or Tunisian or whatever they have going on over there. None of that stuff was in my film. I don't want that in my film. I have it in my life. I have to see this when CNN goes on about what they go on about. I don't go and pay $15. Well, first of all, $10, $15 already, gas money or bus fare or train fare to get there, then $15 at the theater. Then I gotta maybe argue with some sort of diehard C-19. Where's your mask, man? Then I have to buy stuff because they won't let you come in with outside food. So you got to buy expensive ass shit, hot dogs for like $5, all these different things. I got to put up with that so I can get there and be lectured by you. No. That's not how that's going to go down. Because if I go here really quickly, I'm about to access the panel in a second to get their opinions on this. But I do want to actually go into the article very quickly. I won't read the whole thing. I just want you to get the gist of it. Made fun of her before I mocked her, but I will actually read her article most likely badly written article here. Genuinely. Black Widow sauntered into the mainstream consciousness in 2010's Iron Man 2, not walked, sauntered. Natasha Romanoff, the Russian agent turned US spy, played by Scarlett Johansson, first meets Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. This sentence is way too long. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. When he's working out in a boxing ring with a lady, we saw the movie, in a boxing ring. I told you this was poorly written. In a boxing ring with his employee, played by Jon Favreau, the film's director. Favreau's Happy Hogan condescendingly offers to teach Natasha how to box. So she slips off her high heels, slinks into the ring, and immediately kicks the man's butt. That's the joke. Surprise! This unbelievably fit woman can fight. This is a straw man. Everything about this is straw man. In the suit she was wearing, you couldn't tell if she was fit or not. But it's the moment after Natasha handily beats Happy that truly rankled fans. Who did it rankle? Stark turns to his assistant turned girlfriend Pepper Potts, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. Who is she? Tony asks. To which Pepper replies, potentially a very expensive sexual harassment lawsuit. So that's funny. That's the point. Tony, after Googling for photos of Natasha in her underwear, quips, I want one. Victoria Alonso, executive vice president of production at Marvel Studios, never liked the line. It bothered me then and it bothers me now. Oh, nice Monday morning. Is that what we call it? Monday morning quarterbacking or whatever that shit is. That's what he's doing here. It bothered me then and it bothers me now, says Alonso, who was a co-producer of Iron Man 2. I remember thinking, she's not a thing. But now, apropos, the world sees a sexy woman, thinks that because she is beautiful, that's all she has to give. The scene feels like a relic of the pre-Me Too, pre-hashtag Me Too Hollywood. By the way, guys, you still haven't changed this yet? This is not hashtag me, it's pound Me Too. That's what this is. That symbol was pound way before it was hashtag. And it was a different Hollywood, and certainly a different Marvel for 10 years, where white men named Chris headlined Marvel movies where more white men named Chris headlined Marvel movies than women and actors of color combined. It took 17 movies for Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, to introduce a female villain, Cate Blanchett. Yeah, she was gorgeous in there. Gorgeous. And, for USJW, she was no more than just gorgeous. She was smart. She was fierce. I'm woman, hear me roar. Fuck you. Cate Blanchett in 2017's Thor Ragnarok. And 21 to debut. I told you this is not just me interjecting jokes in here that makes this badly written. It's poorly written to begin with. Now, 11 years after the first appeared on screen, the MCU's first major female character is finally getting her own movie. That was not our fault. This was you, the people that you guys, control freaks, are attempting to sway, right? The movie directors and all these people, they're the ones who decided not to give us a Black Widow movie. We've been begging for a Black Widow movie, like begging, like panderers on the street with a shaking cup of coin. We've been asking for a Black Widow movie forever, since we saw her in Black Widow 2. And also, just to address, before I'm not reading the rest of this drivel here, just to address the rest of this thing, right? These people have no idea what a spy is. What she did in Iron Man 2, that's called a honeypot. That's what she is. Or one of the things she is, right? She still had her youth. As a spy, which is a military kind of category, in the military, they tell you to use everything that can give you an advantage. And since spies are part of the military, that ethos goes with them as well. They use everything that's in their inventory, their youth, their beauty, everything. and they direct all of those resources towards getting a mission accomplished. So you have a billionaire playboy who is lecherous towards women. That's the point. So they send in the sweet-looking, gorgeous, sex pot who is secretly highly intelligent, major league lethal, and she infiltrates his whole corporation. Right? That's the point. She's supposed to be that. But now we're supposed to now we have to, for the sake of political correctness, we're supposed to ignore the reality of the CIA, the NSA, the Mossad, and all these different agencies using sex pots and honeypots for the last something like 80 years. We're supposed to ignore all of that stuff because political correctness. Let me access the panel real quick and get their opinions and see if maybe I'm going too far. Maybe I'm overthinking and overlooking these different things. Give me a second here. Tank Ferret, welcome to the panel.
Thank you, sir. How you doing?
All right, fine. Greg Levine. Greg, what the? Lord Sand, what's going on?
Hail, my meaty knights!
All right, hail to everyone on the panel. AG, hail.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Welcome, AG.
Sega anarchist.
It's good to be here, man. I've heard only good things so far. So.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. We have to streamline the show a little bit because a lot of times, sometimes we stumble. You know what I mean? But
no. I get you.
Yeah.
AG is the owner of the Anarchist Geeks page on Facebook.
Right.
And AG also works in the mainstream. So this is someone who has some really interesting stories from the inside. So
Okay.
I had to get his ass on here.
Good. I can't wait to hear some of those.
Yeah, no, I can give you a few stories about stuff I've seen, shit I've heard, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. Chris Holmes, welcome to the panel. Hail, Chris Holmes.
Chris.
Hey there.
All right. So I think that's about all the panelists we're getting right now.
We got the Tank and the meaty lord there.
Yep.
Party.
I'll take it.
Party, boys.
Now, I'd like to ask you fellas, do you guys, is anyone on this panel old enough to remember when we got our movies without the fucking lectures?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's not just me.
Because I feel like I'm fucking going insane sometimes. Like, is that just some shit only I remember? And it's like, no. So when I heard you say that, I was like, yeah, fucking thank God.
So we're not alone. All right. Yeah. Because I felt like I'm going nuts.
You know what, dude, you're not, because and I know you're not. I know you know what they're doing, but I'm trained in film and I understand the communication that a director and a writer is. I know what they're communicating, or at least trying to. Like, a lot of times I can recognize that a director really doesn't know what they're doing and they're just kind of throwing shit out there, but then other times they're communicating and they're supposed to communicate something. And I've been seeing pretty steadily for several years now all the wrong communication. I call it an attack on our country by foreign invaders. And honestly, it's it's an attempt to destabilize our entire society. It's working. We're watching it happen, and everybody's being little fucking pussies about it. And they want to fucking go after a guy like me for bringing it up because I'm accessible. They don't have the balls. Rage against, I hate to use the term, but rage against the fucking machine, or go in the faces of politicians or anybody else. They got to go around, call everybody fucking tinfoil hat wearers, so that they don't have to take responsibility as adults for their communities.
Absolutely, absolutely. What do you think, Tank?
I mean, what you're saying is that maybe they should take a modicum of responsibility for their condition in life as opposed to just taking the easy road and blaming others.
Yeah.
You're crazy. Crazy.
I mean, imagine that.
That's crazy, Tom. Okay.
Chris Holmes, what do you think of this whole thing, man?
Oh, it's ridiculous, in the state of media nowadays is just like I can't even you. At one time, I was like excited to see something like, oh man, they're gonna remake Transformers, or they're gonna remake one of these IPs that I like enjoy, and then like you go to watch it, and it's the same story that's being repeated in every other story that they're putting out. They just try to revise all of the stuff that you loved and turn it into something like some monstrous thing that just now it's just a label that's on it, like, oh, this is Transformers, like, and more than likely the new He-Man thing that's coming out is going to be the exact same thing, where it's like, like it's not going to be about He-Man, it'll be about Tila and her adventure, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a live on that. Believe you me. They I got some for their ass.
I thought it looked pretty good. I did.
What, the He-Man trailer? No, the animation's fantastic.
Yeah, it looked good.
No. It's look. Let's not get that twisted. The animation and the music, fantastic stuff.
Yeah,
but the only thing is what they're very well put together, and the beat and pacing. Unless we're deceived by the trailer. If we're not deceived by the trailer, it's going to be a very good looking show. The only thing is, it's the messages behind that. Let me ask now, what young, I don't know what kind of social programming these people are putting into. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The thing we're talking about, guys, this sucks because we have to wonder what we're going to get. We have to wonder, are we going to get messaging or are we going to get an actual show? It didn't used to be like that. You would just get your fucking show, right? And the show would suck or it would be good.
Really, we don't even need to wonder, though, man. It's going to be shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like all that stuff you're talking about where it's like, oh, it's great production and it's great animation. Yeah. But it's just like putting perfume on a pig, man. It's going to be, or shit. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely, man. I don't watch anything. Like I saw that review Bob gave of the Tomorrow War, and I may consider watching it, but I'm not watching shit currently. I don't want them to have any money. I tried to spread this. I've been trying for months to spread the hashtag Starve the Mouse.
Yep.
I would love it if you guys would pick that up. Starve the Mouse. Spread it around.
I'm no fan of Disney.
They need to go. They need to go. They're a plague. They are literally enemies of they are enemies of all of us. They're trying to destroy everything that we have.
Yep. No, I'll agree to that.
Locusts, pestilence, plague. You'd think we're living in the end days or something.
I wish I could.
Greg,
laugh.
you want to take that one?
Yeah. Not really. I'm a broken record. I'm the resident Agenda 2030 guy on Breakout.
I know that's what you were saying. Yeah.
It's all about 2030 at this point, guys. You know it is. It's all about it. This is all social engineering. I think everybody above age 12 doesn't matter because they're going to kill us off. It's the ones below age 12 that are going to be their workers that'll be completely brainwashed. They'll be wearing masks, hide themselves. They'll be scared. They won't offend anyone, when they're interacting in VR with the AI overseeing them. They'll be afraid. They won't do anything against the system. And that's the end of humanity. Bye-bye, Homo sapien sapien.
Well, I mean, the thing is, every few decades they try that. So let's not really put the nail in the coffin yet.
Not this, brother.
No,
they try that shit. 2012, they try that shit. They keep trying and trying and trying.
Yeah, and Greg, you and I, we talk about this all the time, dude. But like at the end of the day, not as many people are as stupid as they were hoping. Oh, there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there? Yeah, a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there. But we found out a lot of people ain't fucking buying it either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surrounded by people where I am. I feel like it's going to come down to fighting within the next few months. As soon as all the big pushes, we're already seeing the big pushes coming in the near future, such as you can't do dick without the fucking vaccine. And they're ramping up the fear with their new Delta.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? I live in a state where you have to have the vaccine or wear a fucking mask, right? You know what I do? I don't fucking do either. And I haven't done either for a year now.
Yeah,
no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit, dude.
Yeah,
no
they don't fucking care.
You're lucky, dude. My girlfriend and I have been harassed repeatedly for not wearing masks.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to try.
Yeah.
Can't blame
by
them
and
for
large,
trying.
yeah, by and large, no one gives a shit, dude. By and large, no one gives a shit.
Well, I appreciate you very much, AG, because you're one of those people out there walking it. You know, like I felt almost alone because I walk around my town, or not walk around, but we cruise around. My girlfriend and I go out and do chores, go to the grocery store. Everyone's got the masks. They're glaring.
Yeah.
They're rude. And I'm looking around at grown fucking men.
Yeah.
Okay. Men who have been in fist fights with other men, who have gotten drunk and puked up, have fucked the wrong women. You know, guys with experience, with fucking life, man experience, right? And they're wearing the masks. They're wearing the masks. They're little bitches, man, hiding behind, I just don't want to cause any trouble.
Yeah.
You know? And they're bitches. They're all fucking bitches. Half of them could beat my ass in a fist fight, but I'm fucking 10 times the man any of those fucking bitches are.
Well, you know, that's what it comes down to, right? We're talking about like masculinity and messaging and shit. And so what makes a man then? What makes a man? Like to pull a Dracula, what is a man?
I'll break it down in what anthropologists, the way they break it down when they, in the studies of what certain anthropologists call authentic humans, which are indigenous man. Okay. An alpha male takes care of the family unit in the community. They protect them from threats. They're always observant. Even when they're in a state of relaxation, they're having fun, you're drinking, you're still looking around for threats against your woman, against, let's say you're in a cookout scenario, your children, if you're in public, you're always watching, you know, that's what men do. Men watch out. When I see a man going along with this shit that's going against our communities and our families, that's not a man. That's a little bitch. That's a fucking robot right there.
Okay. And you know what? That's a great way of saying it, actually.
You know,
That's a very good fucking point. That's a very good fucking point.
I'm a nerd.
I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm a skinny, nerdy, big nose fucking dork who makes comic books and shit like that, right? But I got a fucking 9mm Springfield and hollow points. If anybody wants to fuck with my lady, they're going to eat it. And I'm not saying that to be like Mr. Tough Guy or anything like that. That's just the stuff we need to be saying more of as men in this society right now, because I think a lot of men I should say young guys out there need to learn what the fuck it is to be a man. It's not Kyle Rittenhouse. He went looking for trouble. You guys can, you know, any of the guys out there that maybe, I know there are people that worship that guy like he's a hero. It's not that douchebag. He's a factor 2 pathological. He went looking for the trouble. I'm talking about the people where you come to my house. You know, you come to my town and you start dismantling shit. It's not, Now, the shit that BLM was doing, those different cities with the riots, now we know those were agents, of course. We know those were government and corporate agents, of course, doing it, initiating it. But those motherfuckers, those are they should have been gunned down within the first probably 2 hours of this bullshit.
Well, you can't say that on YouTube. You can't say that on YouTube. You're gonna get us taken down.
You can't go burn people's fucking buildings and houses and
I know
beat people down the street without repercussion. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'll calm down, but I'm just saying those aren't men in that neighborhood that allow that.
Allowing that stuff to go down like that. But I'm having a thought that many people weren't aware of it. Like they just saw, because they had this person with a cell phone camera, and they snuck a shot in of these, I don't know who they were, but they had the Antifa gear on, and they were inside a building applying chemicals to burn it down. That's not protest. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not, hey, we want equality. That's something else. That's some other shit. That's some planned shit. You know, there was a girl with a boyfriend on like a second or third floor in Boston. She had a video and she's looking down at some sort of enclosed alley, and police were coming in that alley, and they were, you know, stacking some bricks in the back of a pickup truck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, what the hell?
That was in multiple cities. That was in multiple cities. You didn't even have to dig deep. Like that was easily found and spread around the fucking internet, man. That was blatant. It's as blatant as it gets.
But hey, look, as long as we have people who are willing to stand up, be like, no.
Even
then,
if you think you're a pussy, even if you think you're
Yeah,
a pussy,
yeah.
man. I used to think I was a pussy, and then I got into, like, I had to defend myself multiple times, and each time I did pretty all right. You might be surprised at what you're capable of doing.
You learn a lot about yourself in your first fight, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. You learn about the universe. Let's boil it down, because until you get in that first real fight, you think you're safe. You think you're safe wherever you go, because the adults, you know, and the authority figures, you think it's all safe. And then you get in a scenario where everything breaks down, you have no control, and you don't even have control over your own body because somebody's harming you against your will. It might sound simplistic, the way overly simplistic, the way I'm saying it, but it literally it changes your psyche. And when you make it through scenarios like that, you feel stronger, more confident, and you start understanding the threats that are out there, and you start watching for them. There are a lot of guys right now, young guys, who we would call simps and all that kind of shit, that if they just got out there and got some life experience in, they would be, you know, they wouldn't take them long.
Well, you have that watershed moment, right? You have that watershed moment that changes your life. I mean, I had mine a while back, and this guy, he could have killed me if he wanted to. He could have. And lucky for me, he was insane and he wanted to hurt himself instead. But I realized in that moment how mortal I was, how vulnerable I was. All that, I didn't carry a gun back then, all that kind of shit, right? And it changed my life. Like that one insular moment, it changed my life. And a lot of guys don't get that. They just breeze through life. They never had that brush with death. They've never had that, you know, Mortal Kombat experience. None of that kind of shit. So they don't. That shit never enters their head, ever, at any given point. Sometimes they go to the fucking grave, never having known about themselves.
Yeah. If you're never challenged, then you can't grow. That's just how it is. What were you saying, Ben?
Well, kind of going back to everything as far as like what it means to be a man, there's something I came across a while ago that actually, when I started talking with Greg about Brain Cage, that actually inspired me to say yes and work with Greg with Celerity. And it's a podcast called Order of Man. And the guy that runs it, Ryan Mickler, he says that the three things that a man does is protect, provide, and preside. You protect your family, you provide for your family, and you lead your family. And he's interviewed people like Jocko Willink, the writer for Braveheart, along with various other people on what it means to be a man. And for me and a lot of other people, it's worked wonders. But kind of going to a slightly different point, you know, as long as we got people that are willing to stand up, that's good and great. But at the same time, it kind of reminds me of the cowards where I live. The people wanted the county to become a Second Amendment sanctuary. And so what our lovely leaders, politicians, and garbage people, they said, well, we carry, and as long as we have Republicans in state Congress and state Senate, our demon rat governor won't do anything, won't be able to do anything. And almost as soon as they said that, all of a sudden, lockdown because of COVID. And she just went full-blown Hitler, okay? There's a reason we call Whitmer Hitler. Let's just say that. And, you know, it's like, it's good and great that people are willing to stand up, but they also got to know how to stand up. Otherwise, it's just going to end in senseless bloodshed.
True that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really the trick, because they own all of our communication and everything. They've got cameras in every city and town now. There's just so many things. However, I don't think it's impossible. In fact, I look at these powers as being pufferfish You know, they puff themselves up to look much bigger than they are. And that's just simple art of war. Honestly, they're in fear of us. That's what all of this is about. I think they want to get us down to very manageable numbers where they don't have to live in fear, meaning the globalists that I'm referring to.
See, and that's the thing about it, Greg. You keep going there, but I'm telling you, man, the way, like you keep saying that, oh yeah, they took the vaccine, so they're gonna die. That's what you say, right?
Well, you got to be more specific. Like
All right.
there's the vaccines are actually doing different things. They're sterilizing some, they're killing others.
Yep. Well, the thing about it is this, right? And I've spent some time thinking about it. And if you design this thing, you design this fake medicine that's actually a poison, right? And the people who are dumb enough and loyal enough and obedient enough to take it do take it. Well, who dies? It's the loyal, the obedient, it's the dumb, it's the subservient, the slaves, right? Well, now they're dead. Who are you left with?
Well, that's why they want the kids.
That's not an ideal situation for a controller. You see what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
I do, but you're missing that they're targeting specifically children between the ages of 8 and 12 right now. And this was something I guessed because I just did the simple math. I'm like, we got about 8 years or so until 2030. So I started thinking, wait a minute, they don't want us. We're stubborn. We're from previous generations. We've seen the world in other ways. They've got to have the kids. And I've seen that they've been targeting the kids every step of the way.
Absolutely.
So that's what they're doing. They're going to take the kids that are the best and brightest between the ages of 8 and 12, maybe even younger too, who pick up on VR technology, who are pick up on engineering, programming, because those are the things they're going to need in 2030. They're not going to need most professions anymore. In fact, 99% of professions they won't need anymore, according to the World Economic Forum and their plan. So, they don't need us anymore, bro. We're obsolete. But I think the reason why it's not just instantly killing everybody, it is instantly killing a lot of people. But I think it's because, see, what I found out recently is what is allegedly happening here. It looks like good data because it comes from a lot of actual legit doctors who have been checking into this, looking into this. And it looks like what happens is this, they inject these little nanite type things into your body that increases spike protein production. And it's supposed to only produce a certain amount, and then that will increase your so-called immunity to fucking COVID-19 nonsense. So that's what they say it does. What it's doing is it does not discontinue spike protein production. So what's happening is there's no place for them to go, these spike proteins. So they're adding up in large numbers. They're clogging arteries. They're going into different organs and shutting them down. So some of them are getting that. Now I see China's social credit slipping into place in social media, which of course you know very well, AG. Social media controls our minds now.
And yes, I know it's nice to meet a fellow harmful extremist, according to Facebook. I know.
Right. And it is, AG. We're very much alone out there, aren't we? We're just like, guys, you really can live without government. You truly can, and people go, yeah, but what about, well, we won't go into that one, but not this show at least, right? We'll do an anarchist show sometime.
That's like a 24-hour long fucking thing.
It is, because you have to dispel every myth that the military industrial complex has woven.
Thing. Yeah.
Everybody thinks anarchists are like, oh, I'm a punk. Fuck you. Fuck your world. I'm a punk anarchist. We're literally blazing green, and we're fucking growing gardens and sitting around going and sitting around going, everybody's nuts. Look at all these people out there going nuts. What the fuck?
I know.
That's anarchist. I know. Most people don't know.
Here's the crazy thing about the mass colds, right? So I've got a strong immune system. So when I'm sick, like I know it's something really nasty, right? And I usually know that I got it from somebody, and I've seen them take a week to get well. And for me, it takes about 48 to 72 hours. But when I was sick, like long before the mass cold thing, if I was sick and I knew I was contagious, I'd wear a mask. But I would get shit for it. you know, they'd be like, you have to take your mask off to come inside the store, sir.
Right. Right. It was the
And I'm
exact
like,
opposite.
hey, look, I'm sick. I don't want to get you sick. I'm wearing this mask for your protection. You have to take the mask off, sir.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now,
It's an exercise
like,
in
I'm not
control.
sick. I'm
Yeah,
not-
it's an exercise in control.
Well, you know,
Well, I have to say something though. The people who are really, really anti-mask like that, I hail those people. I'm sorry it was a dickhead to you specifically, but I wanted to see people going, "Fuck the masks." No, I'm
No,
not.
This is before the mask. This is before the mask holes.
Oh, really?
This is,
Right. Yeah.
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 Right. This is before long. This is before all this shit.
You
Even
were
like
wearing
the
masks before masks were cool.
What can I say? I'm a trendsetter, and I apologize.
You better, motherfucker.
You know, that's just reasonable precaution. It's wearing a protective gear in order to keep other people from being sick. Because I know I'm coughing. I'm not well.
It's considerate too. Very considerate.
I feel like I'm shit run over twice and shot for good measure. I don't want other people to feel like that. I don't want to, you know. But now, because when I am not sick, you know, and I have the antibody, I got the COVID. I got it already. I have the superior antibodies, by the way. The science has continued testing and peer-reviewed testing is coming out that the actual antibodies are so much better than the fake ones they're giving you. They're not even giving you antibodies. They're not even. It's not a vaccine.
Right.
It's not. It's
just poison.
Really not. It's highly experimental. I've been keeping track of this of the research going on for this type of the spike protein vaccine right now. This isn't ready for prime time. This is rushed out. You are the human guinea pigs. Everybody getting those shots out there. You are the test group, and this is not. This is, and the government, your tax dollars are paying for it, right? So this is a scam.
Oh, absolutely.
This is,
you know, it's funny you should say that too. Talking about the masks before 2020, right? Because I have a friend of mine. She's a nurse, and of course she fucking knows everything, right? So I'm telling her, I'm like, the mask is dumb and you shouldn't be wearing it. Oh no, you gotta wear. Oh my god, you don't understand. You don't know science, that kind of shit, right? So I said, okay. I said, you're a nurse. That's your profession, right? She says, yeah. I said, so why the fuck have you been wearing a mask your whole life? She says, right. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, who do you work with? I work with sick people and blah, blah. Okay, so what kind of bullshit are you carrying around in your... Why the fuck are you not wearing a mask the whole fucking time you've been a nurse? Mm-hmm. And she had no fucking idea how to answer that.
Well, it's because the mask isn't to protect you, it's to protect other people from you.
But that's my point. If you pick up something at the hospital, right, and we should be able to know who's a nurse out there. We should always have one on if that's how it works, right?
Yeah. I always hated going into hospitals because of that. I always imagined all these harmful bacteria invading my body every time I walked down a hallway in a hospital.
For real,
Right.
like walking through a hospital, I'll stop at like most bathrooms and wash my hands at every opportunity.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. You know what? And I hate seeing nurses out there wearing their scrubs in public, like in a grocery store and shit. I'm like, you gross ass bitch. You fucking sick bitch. You know, it's laziness.
You don't know science. Let me drag this fucking petri dish around. Like, oh my god.
I would say it's a little more hilarious. So I used to work at Jimmy John's. And we would wash our dishes with not just soap, but we would also use bleach water. I don't even think they have that level of sanitary standards at a hospital.
No, they don't.
Honestly.
No, they do not.
They mostly use isopropyl alcohol.
Well, I mean, to be honest, guys, hospitals are to keep you sick. I mean, you guys know that they're business. They're business.
It hasn't changed from the 1800s. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you, what I'm really excited to hear about is I know AG doesn't have a lot of time tonight, so I really want to hear from him some inside stories. That's the juicy stuff.
Yes, please.
All right, so I don't have anything like a Harvey Weinstein or anything like that.
No. Well, yeah, that's not the business we're in anyway. We don't have that many Harvey Weinsteins.
All right, so here's the thing about it. Like, I spent my whole life preparing to be a professional artist, going into comics, going into games, going into movies, going into whatever, right? Spent my whole life preparing for it. When I felt I was ready, moved out to LA. You know the fucking deal, right? And over the course of living there, you build your network. I built my network and stuff like that. And eventually start getting some notice. I start getting some notice from people in game studios, artists in game studios. You know, Sony, Naughty Dog, you know, 2K, like all that kind of shit, right? So they invite me to some networking parties, and they invite me to some things like that. I said, okay. So of course, yeah, I sell my left nut to go to one of these things. I've been waiting for it my whole life, right? So I finally end up going. And dude, it was like a big punch in the gut. It was a big punch in the gut because I get there and I know deep down in my soul, I know these people have to like you in order to get anywhere, right? That's how this works.
Yes.
You have to become their friend. Okay.
Super nepotism. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, some charisma. I got some decent jokes. I've been waiting for this moment. I can do this, you know? So I go in there and, you know, of course I'm a little nervous and stuff. And then I start realizing the people that I'm meeting, they're not asking to see my shit. They're not asking to see anything I can do.
No.
They're asking what I think. They're asking what kind of person I am. They're asking me about political issues. How much do you hate Orange Man? Shit like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I'm like, all right. And I'm doing my best to just kind of like just deflect it, kind of like just sort of like stay in the zone, be like, all right, well, look, this is what I want to do, whatever. And they're not having none of that. They're not having none of that. Like it's almost like filling out like a verbal questionnaire. You know, how much do you like BLM? How much do you hate Orange Man? How much this? How much that? And it's like, look, guys, I just want to make some cool shit that people will like or they won't like, whatever. I just want to make some cool looking shit. Are we doing that or not? And the more I spent time going to these fucking parties and talking with these people, the more I found out that's not what we do here. It's not what we do here. We don't make cool, fun shit. We make this kind of like the stuff we're talking about, the social engineering, the messaging, shit like that, right? And like I said, it was a huge punch in the gut because I've been building and spending my whole life trying to chase this fucking thing down. Now I got it. I'm sinking my teeth into it, and fucking, it's just not gonna be. It's just not gonna happen, and it's not gonna happen because of lack of skill. Because no one give a fuck about your skill level. No one gives a fuck about any young artists out there. I'm telling you right now, they don't care about your skill level. They only care about what you think and feel and what you're going to put down and commit to medium. That's what they care about. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. So, like I said, I don't have anything like super juicy or anything like that. But then I started.
That was good enough.
Well, the thing about it is, I started realizing. I started playing it reverse. I started saying, all right, well, fuck it. I want to see your stuff, right? We're here at a networking party. I want to see your stuff, right? And then you start seeing stuff that doesn't make it to the screen. You start seeing what they do like in like the recreational kind of work. And these are some fucking strange people, dude. These are some fucking strange people. Like
they do shit like Depression Quest, right?
Right. Yeah, kind of bullshit. Right. Exactly, kind of like that. But it gets kind of worse. So they're okay. They're okay because they think they're like when you're at a networking party, you're in their world, and they just assume everybody there is safe, right? So they're showing me all kinds of strange shit like furry porn and shit like that, right? These are strange motherfuckers. So in addition to just this being this like social engineering, being in this clique, this sort of like hive mind kind of thing, behind the scenes, what they really get down to, man, like at least in my personal experience, is some strange shit. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the whole like furry bullshit, but I was apparently it's not it they do the kid shit with furry stuff too.
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Like fucking riding big old bananas and shit and all this fucking weird nonsense. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So like I said, I don't have any oh my God, I can't believe this this slam dunk evidence or whatever. No, I just went to some parties and I saw some weird shit, but that was it for me.
No, that's not enough.
Well, I'm saying that was it for me.
No, that's not enough.
That was it for me. Like,
Listen.
I remember going home and like it was a long drive home, guys, and I get in and my wife is all excited. She's like, well, how'd it go?
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the third or fourth one I've been to, maybe even fifth, right? And I'm like, I can't do this, babe. I can't with good conscience go in, try to be somebody I'm not, just so that I can work in the same, because I couldn't share space with these motherfuckers, right? Like, think about this, right? Imagine that networking party lasting your 9 to 5 for 5 days out of a week.
Jesus.
Right. Imagine that. And I realized I can't do that. I can't share space with these people. I can't. There's no way that I'd be able to create something with these people. We wouldn't have the same goals in mind. So it was.
Look at what they did with Last of Us. Can you imagine?
Right.
Look,
exactly.
Making of Last of Us took what, something like 8 years, because that's a long ass game to make.
Yeah, great game.
And 8 or 10 years, something like that. Now, imagine you had to spend 10 years in these, like,
right.
You couldn't take a half hour in their party.
and that's what I mean. I went home to my wife, and I'm just sitting there, like, as cliche as it is, I'm just sitting there in the dark, with her, just a bear in my hand, just going, I can't fucking believe I chased this thing down, and this is where it is. This is where it's at. Like, I can't fucking believe this. And then I start finding out more and more shit, through like other channels and stuff like that, talking about like, how these guys are into sick pedophile shit and this and that and whatever. And I'm like, no, I kill a motherfucker. Like, I can't be around. Like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. It's like, no.
I kind of got lucky, bro, because people in my film network years ago, I would say about 2 decades ago, started warning me, don't go out there. Just don't.
Yeah.
Stay indie. Stay in it. Work in indie films. Don't go out there. I don't know how many fucking times I've heard this, and they were straight, like, they look you in the eyes and they're serious. You've been sitting there partying with them all night. It's been a fun time. And then, man, I might just have to go out there. And then they look at you and they go, dude, and they get in close to you and they say, don't go out there. Stay indie. And the first 2-3 times, I think I kind of was thinking, he don't want competition out there. He's afraid I'm going to go out and snatch his gigs. And then, about fucking 7, 8, 10 times in of people warning me, I started heeding it. And then about 10 years ago, we start seeing all this shit coming out.
Yeah.
And it's, it's so much now, and they can't hide it. There's just so much now that even us normies out here, I say us, but it's like people who aren't on the inside are can't avoid it now. Like, if people know it's going on.
No.
Yeah.
The last time somebody wanted to see my portfolio in the entertainment industry was early 2012. That was the last time I had to bring a portfolio. I did a few interviews after that to try and pick up some freelance work, and they never wanted to see my portfolio. I bring a portfolio, and they just want bullshit. And I walked away from those like, you do. Some of them called me back, but I didn't return their call because I didn't want to work with them. And I said, well, thank you very much. I don't think we're a good fit when I left the meeting. And because I didn't want them to call me back, because these are not people I wanted to work with. These are people. Social engineering is, as a science fiction writer and as somebody who writes a lot of cyberpunk, social engineering is a nightmare subject.
Yeah,
that's scary. That's when I was a teenager and I met Freeman Dyson at I got involved. I got pulled in on a futurist conference, right, in San Francisco. Freeman Dyson was there. I was just a teenager hanger on to one of these guys who was a free energy scientist. It was based down in the San Jose area, And so I got to meet the legendary Freeman Dyson. I was very excited because Dyson's Sphere hypothesis was really big to me as a young science fiction guy and an armchair scientist. And I had a conversation with him, and this conversation just ended up with him basically just repeating, mankind needs to change its genes and get into outer space. We have to socially engineer everything in order to make it ahead. We have to manipulate and control people. And I was like, dude, that's counter-evolutionary. And he just was not having it. Because what the fuck did I know? Pardon me for cussing, but I'm just a kid.
Oh, that's not fucking okay, dude.
I know. I fucking apologize. But we get into this social, and we see it now. Like we used to. I remember when in the '90s, when I had a friend of my mom's had infiltrated the Cult Awareness Network and exposed them for being the asshats that they were, and being a criminal organization. And which forced them to they got screwed. Like people went to jail, people like they got blacklisted from industries and stuff like that over that. And I remember he was telling me, he's like, it's all about social engineering. It's about creating that world. And I was like, okay, whatever, old dude. Not even a decade later, I was like, I apologize to him. I was like, dude, now I'm old enough to drink. Let me buy you a beer and apologize because you were 110% right.
Yeah.
I eat my words. I'll have my crow with some barbecue sauce, please.
So my story is not so uncommon then, because and again, commiseration in it too, because you do sometimes think like you're the only one, right?
Yeah.
Like you knock on the door opens up to you, and then you realize you don't want anything going on. You don't want to be any part of what's going on behind that door. And you thought you did. You thought you did for sure, man.
Yeah, no, and I thought I was in. I thought I was.
There was a rapper, a local rapper. There's a local rapper. See, you guys are bringing the white experience, but let me bring some black in this in this bit, because listen, there's a local rapper who wanted to get out there. They liked his music, and they wanted him to do the Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing. How they pull rappers from obscurity, give them a big shot to be part of a sitcom, or maybe even an action TV show like LL Cool J. Like he became part of Hawaii Five-0 or whatever the hell he's got going on over there. But he showed up. They flew him out and everything. They gave him. They paid for his ticket. There and back. All paid for. Hotel paid for. Food and everything paid for. Then he shows up at a board meeting, and an old Jewish guy who he's meeting pulls his pants down and asks for a blowjob. And dude is like, I don't know what you think this was. I'm not. You've listened to my lyrics, right? My hip hop lyrics. I'm not into this. And he's like, well, okay, so do you want to give or you want to get? He's like, I want neither. He had to promptly, because he turned that down. He wasn't willing to sell who he was to get. He would have been the next, Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
That's what you got to sell. Notice before the Will Smith career boost, he was doing a movie where he was getting pegged by another guy. I forgot I think it was called 6 Degrees of Separation or something like that. So he had to do a gay movie, and there are so many stories floating around of Will Smith having done a whole bunch of different things to get ahead. Give some head to get ahead, sort of thing, right?
Did you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No problem. Go ahead.
Oh, did you guys see that interview with Brendan Fraser that was on Sway's Universe? The reason why Brendan Fraser just disappeared from movies and everything was he was at a party. This was when he was in his height, the height of his career, when he was really popular in the early 90s.
Post Mummy.
Yeah. He was at the height. Yeah, he was at the height of his popularity. He was at a big party, studio heads there and those types, right? and shady executive producer types. So he's in there, and one of these scumbags came up and was drunk and started like grabbing for his crotch and was like sticking his tongue out like an animal, like like he's gonna lick his asshole and shit or something, just like
anime.
Yeah, just
yeah, it's like real life anime.
And and he was going after him there, and and he was like, he's like, what the fuck, and like step back, like what, was like repulsed, of course, and dude got angry or something because he didn't like the response, and basically Brendan walked away, and he saw Adam Sandler and told him what happened, and Adam took him home and tried to smooth it all over.
And then Adam fucked him.
Probably, but what followed was that that scumbag. I forget who the fucking scumbag is. These are the guys who should be plastered all over the news. Not the ones we're seeing. But anyway, this guy decided that's the end of Brendan's career because Brendan was outspoken about it. I guess he was he was pissed off.
No, you got to play the game. You got to play back to Will Smith. He's playing the game. He's putting his son in dresses and shit. Like he's fucking playing the game.
Yeah, what a Fruit Loop, right? So Brendan did not go along with it, so that ended his career. And he's been living in Virginia. He raises horses, and basically he's been like on the verge of bankruptcy and all this other stuff. The guy is wrecked. Like if you watch that interview, he looks like he's afraid somebody's going to come in at any moment and shoot him in the head.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, he's anxious, and he hasn't been on camera since those days.
Yeah, he gained a ton of weight too. I saw him in something. Yes. Somebody risked putting him in something, and it was decent. I saw what was it called?
Somebody's got some loud music in the background.
Someone's playing bass or something.
Yeah, sorry, man. It's the guy next door.
Oh, okay. Tell him keep that shit down.
Sorry, man. He's probably gonna fuck up. He's probably gonna fuck up your stream. I might have to go, man.
No, I mean unless he's playing copyrighted stuff.
Yeah, just mute. Just mute when you're not talking. Stuff. Yeah, just mute when you're not talking. Okay. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, he was in something recently, and it was decent. Don Cheadle was in there. I think.
I wouldn't call Doom Patrol decent, but
no, it wasn't Doom Patrol. no, definitely not Doom Patrol. Not that travesty. It's something else. It's kind of like a noir, and it was decent. David Harbour was in it. It says Benicio del Toro. Very good stuff. And it's been a while since I saw a decent noir. So a starving man can't properly critique a meal he gets at a restaurant. So it could be that I was just hard up for a good noir that I haven't seen in a while. So you guys will have to see it and decide for yourself.
Did you see the Randy Quaid setup? About 6 months to 8 months ago. I'm bad at judging time, but
well, I mean, I know he's on the shit list, since forever.
They set him up to steal his mansion.
Oh wow!
One of the guys, it's a lawyer that works in film. I guess executive producer type, one of those crime types. But he's a lawyer, and he ended up worming his way into Randy Quaid's brother-in-law or stepbrother or something like that, and tricked him and got him to sign something that gave him a back door into that property. It was several $1 million mansion, right? So he basically was ripping Randy and then started spreading a bunch of shit about him. Randy came out and decided to fight it. He came out. If you look into this, you're going to see a bunch of videos making fun of him, how Randy's crazy and all this shit. Well, he plays crazy characters in movies, and that's all they got to go on for his so-called psychosis, right? Is playing crazy characters. He's a very cogent and intelligent man, knows what the fuck he's doing. Otherwise, and you could see it very clearly in these not interviews, but he did like a press conference. Him and his wife were actually defecting to Canada because they were afraid of the types of attacks that they would be subjected to, both their lives and everything else. He came out and said at least 10 of the actors he's worked with in the last 15 years or so had been killed by these people to bring up the price. Yeah, to bring up the price of their estates, their IPs, all that kind of stuff. Heath Ledger was on that list. He said Mossad agents, and this isn't the first time somebody has said that Hollywood people are using Mossad agents, like executives, studio heads, these types of scumbags use Mossad agents to assassinate people and make it look like suicide. I believe he named Chris Cornell, and as well as the singer for Linkin Park. These guys were, I believe I saw, if my memory serves, because of course this was like this was back several months ago. Lots happened since, believe it or not, in just a few months. But there were people saying that the dude from Linkin Park was actually was speaking out about some shit going on that he knew that had happened or something like that. So these guys basically, they do whatever they want. They use us like cattle, as I always, as I say every stream, I try to remind people, we're being treated literally like cattle.
Yeah.
That's it. And cattle invariably ends up at the slaughterhouse one way or another.
And the cattle are branding themselves now.
Yeah,
cattle are very, very proud to be cattle now.
They are, man. They ring their bells, around their necks, and they just march right in line to the fucking slaughterhouse.
Back in the day, they used to, when they were warning, when futurists were warning us about this, they called it the prison without bars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slavery without chains.
Yeah, it was free range slavery. Yeah.
And I gotta say something though. I gotta sort of represent a demographic of people out there who are very intelligent people who actually would know better in normal circumstances. But I know of several people who have been tricked into it, pushed into it to take care of their families, to keep their careers that they've had for decades. And some of them even knew there was a risk, but they're like, I mean, I got to do this to save my career or I'll lose my career and I'll be dead anyways because I can't eat. So we can't just all say they're stupid and stuff like that. A lot of them are, but a lot of them are too.
I don't reserve judgment on that because right now it's voluntary for the most part, right? And I know, like you said, they try to strong arm you and shit into it. I understand that aspect of it too. But then on the other hand, you have people. There's a person who I love very much in my life, and this person went and he took it willingly. I swear to God, because he thought, well, this will help back to normal. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man, because that's not at all in the cards for what's with the future. You think that's gonna happen now after all this shit? No.
Here's the thing though. We do have a form of forced vaccination when you're being told you have to get this vaccination or you lose your career.
Right.
And which in turn means you lose your house. You don't feed your kids. You don't feed your dogs and cats. You're dead. It's over. So that's what they're doing. That's why the social credit system is slipping into place. It's like a molester just creeping in, It's not smashing us yet, but it's obvious to some of us. I know it's obvious to you, AG. It's literally Facebook and all this is literally behaving just like China's social credit system. And
I mean, I make jokes about being on Facebook all the time because I can't fucking believe I'm still there. Like, honestly, I can't fucking believe they haven't kicked me off yet. I know the algorithm, how it works, and like there's trigger words, and you see me invent language. You see me invent my own vernacular and like insults and stuff so I can get around all that shit. And I honestly think that's the only thing keeping me on there at this point.
Probably.
I really do.
Yeah, because I have seen you reported.
Absolutely.
So it basically has to come from when you're using those back doors that you're using. Then it has to come from somebody directly reporting. Oh,
absolutely. Because I avoid the algorithm, like I said, by inventing my own language, and I don't hashtag anything and nothing like that. It's just funny because, like I said, it started off as this just dumb little fucking thing that I thought nobody's gonna show up, and then they had to not only shadow ban me, they have to lose followers too. So like every day, literally every day, I lose 2 to 4 followers. And even if I don't post anything, I can go. I did an experiment. I went 2 weeks without posting anything, just for the hell of it. I came back. Yep, the number was, I think it was like 32 that I lost or whatever. Right. So people, they do me the slow bleed off, they give me the shadow ban, they give me all this shit. It's like, why not just tell me to go fuck myself and just be done? Why not just do that? You know. So I don't know.
Because why? Because you'll come back and you'll make another page, and you'll come back and make another page.
Will I?
Yeah, you will. You're honestly, what I love about your page is that's a voice that is exactly in opposition. Like the last thing that our masters, our farmers, right, the cattle farmers want to hear is you people don't need authority. You can wipe your ass without government intervention. You can feed your kids. You can grow food. You can grow animals without permission. You can walk down the street, protect yourself while you're doing it.
You can carry weapons. You can own. It's fine. It's totally fine.
You can be a total adult and be totally responsible for you and your family. No government needed. And in fact, what we've seen from the history of anarchy is when there are such things as roads, like in civilization, when, like, for example, the Byzantine era of Rome, the fall of Rome and the Byzantine era there, at first it was chaotic. And what they call that anarchy when society breaks down, but anarchy doesn't really, as you know, doesn't really start until it doesn't really start for about another couple months, because that chaos is statism dying. Okay, that's not anarchy.
It's a death throes of
it is. It absolutely is. It's not anarchy breathing yet, being born yet. Once anarchy, once the scumbags have been killed off that are running around raping and stealing and murdering, once they're all killed off, what basically happens is the people who are left are all cooperative, and they're like, let's just get our lives on track. And you know what happens? The roads are better taken care of. The Byzantine era. The Byzantine era of Rome had some of the best living conditions Rome ever saw, because it broke down into little communities and people took care of their own communities.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man, because like when this whole lockdown shit happened, a lot of people showed their true colors about whether they were an authoritarian or they weren't. And my sister-in-law, it was funny as hell. My sister-in-law, not the one I talk about all the time, different one. She's like, well, hey, listen, I'm kind of worried about what's going on. I need to get a gun, And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go get you a gun. I'm like, get in the car. And she's like, well, don't we have to fill paperwork out or whatever? And I'm like, ah! And I start laughing, but I'm like, listen, do you really think and believe that you actually have to ask permission from some people you don't even fucking know whether or not you can defend your own life? Because we have a word for that. We call them master. And do you think you have one of those? Oh yeah, you have one of those. And she just kind of looked at me. And so what's funny is this whole lockdown thing, it got her to, it triggered her. I'm like, who needs to write down, but you can own weapons for you to feel safe, and all this shit. And right now, we flash forward a year, she's basically like the baby stages of Sarah Connor. Right? Yeah, and it's badass, right? Like, I'm super proud of her that she's actually made these mental and physical steps to become a responsible person and all this shit.
I've been seeing a lot of this happening. I've been seeing it going both ways, but I have been seeing a lot of people going, you were right, dude. This shit there is crazy shit going on. I mean, how these other people don't see it? Like, that's that's what they keep.
Here's the thing. A lot of people do see it, but they're smart enough to know what that means. So they can't see it.
Right.
They're smart enough to. They're dumb enough to believe the illusion, but because they're smart enough to know what that means.
Well, if they acknowledge that they know what's happening, then they have to acknowledge that they're complicit already in it, and they also have to acknowledge at that point that they have a responsibility to uphold as citizens to stop foreign invaders who are invading our country. That's exactly what's happening. This is a foreign invasion. That's literally what this is. It's there are at least 3 countries I know of behind this stuff. You said that
it was a foreign invasion when they were taking over our movies and shit. So I mean, we gotta prioritize. We gotta prioritize what's important here, man.
It's the same. It's the same thing.
I was just joking with you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. I'm not a nationalist, but I do live here in the USA. I'm born and raised here, so I feel like when I live here, I got to live pretty much by the rules of it. I got to when in Rome. So I'm not gonna like try to overthrow the government or nothing. or anything like that, because most of the people around me believe
We just
that
want to
this-
build another one.
Well, it's like this. I would love to see a new world emerge in which, like the kind of world you and I have talked about before.
possible.
I would love to see it, and I know it's possible. However, I'm not counting on it in my lifetime. I look at it like this. I live here in the USA. Most of the people around me want this to be the USA, and they want this government. So I'm the minority. So therefore, as far as votes go, I guess I'm outvoted. And I'm okay with that, because why? I live in a community here in my town, and this community has decided that's the law of the land. So if you live in an anarchist community, you also follow the rules of that community. Even if there isn't authority, your community is going to say, don't rape and murder. But
But you know what? Rape and murder is immoral, and it's never a good thing, regardless if it's
Right.
against the law or not.
Yeah, and good
Wait,
people
really?
don't keep good.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm just trying to
Well, I don't know. I'm actually, yeah.
Yeah, and good people don't need to be told not to rape and murder, and that's the
Right.
whole thing.
That's
That's the
right.
silliness
Right.
of laws.
Right. And
We
then,
don't-
and then a bad person isn't bound by going, well, don't do that. That's
Yeah,
bad. Like,
exactly.
Right. But you know what does take care of problems is when you catch somebody raping somebody or trying to kill somebody, well, then you kill them, and then there isn't a murderer rapist in your town anymore.
Right. We can't say stuff like that on
Damn
the
it.
channel,
Greg.
Greg.
Damn
Greg, this is like the third time, man.
Damn it.
YouTube has rules. YouTube has rules. You're gonna get
Damn
them in
it.
trouble.
Well, I'm not telling people to do it.
That is true.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. It's just hard, man. You know how
I
hard
am.
it is. How
Yeah.
hard it is
Yeah,
to be
yeah, yeah.
yourself.
One second, fellas. 1 second, fellas. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platform, go ahead and share a link to this video. Share a link to this channel. Let's grow this platform. Currently, we're at like 180 subs. I don't really check like that, but we're somewhere around 180 subs. Let's get to 200. And then after that, let's get to 500. Let's grow this base. All right. More brains in the room. More people pitching in.
How long you been doing this, man?
What do you mean? This channel? About
Yeah,
a month and a half.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Month and a half, and you're clocking in at almost 200. Because, like you said, once you hit that like 500, then you start seeing the exponential.
Oh, all right. That'll be great.
Well, that's
You
that's
know?
what happened. That's what happened with my page. Once I hit like 500, people started sharing and stuff more often than not, and then before you know it, you have like a few thousand, and then you get shadow banned and shit, and you start playing fucking games, and you will here too, because you're saying a lot of no stuff on YouTube. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, I try to make it funny. I mean, I guess
I know,
I'm
but they don't
hoping you guys
care.
saw
They
that
don't
it's
care how
clips.
fucking funny you are, dude. They don't care how fucking funny you are. Like, as long as they're saying no things, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's you guys who have brought up all the vax stuff and all that stuff. Usually, I just talk about movies, games, comics, and kind of like bring opinions about, like, for example, the stuff about Black Widow and how we're being lectured for no reason. So that's as salty as I get on here. I don't really go hard like the 2030 thing. Like that's new shit to me.
That's
new
me.
shit to me.
Yeah, it's me, totally me. Like, honestly, he makes the mistake of asking me what I think. And every one of these topics lead back to 2030.
Yeah,
so it's
see?
like, what do I do? Do I lie? I'm just not that good at it. Why would I be? I'm not going to make a career as a liar. I can tell you that much. So I'm just going to go with what I know. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how you know Brain Cage will be the best ever.
That's right.
Shameless plug.
Actually, we could get into the comic section of it and show some delicious articles.
Yep. You guys ready?
Yeah. What you got?
So,
Hold
AG,
Well,
I
I mean,
haven't really got to show you much so far of what we've been doing because I know you've been busy lately, but we've been busy
every
too.
every time I ask you, like, well, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Like, I'm like, well, shit, it's been 9 months. Where's the fucking?
When's the baby coming?
It's getting there. It's getting there now. We've got some stuff we're really proud to share. And
share your screen, Greg.
Oh, I'm not actually logged in, so I can't actually share. Normally, you've got all those files over there, so you do that host magic is normally how we've been doing it.
I removed it so I could put all this other all this host stuff here for the show while you guys are speaking, so that we have stuff to look at.
Hey, Tank, are you signed in?
Here I come to save the day.
There you go.
The man. Give us the tour, Tank.
I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing it right now, man.
Well,
Cool. I mean, I usually have my stuff like dice, but
I'll tell you another reason too is like I could just simply go ahead and log in and jump out and then just jump back in. But the thing is I have all of Brain Cage on my computer.
Okay.
So I could fuck up and share full screen and show something that we're not ready to show yet. I could also, it's also a big mess. There's lots of folders. So it's it's kind of hard for me to, full screen it. I've got 8 or so different IPs worth of art and character designs, and it's just
okay, no problem. Oh, wait. Zombie Kill Trocity says, Brain Cage stuff, tag me in, coach.
You know it. Zombie Kill Trocity, despite his retarded screen name there, he's actually quite a brilliant guy. That's Dan Fogarty of World War Hell, one of our main titles. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why he's Zombie Kill Trocity, but I like to tease him anytime.
That's a badass name. That's why. That name is boss.
I beg to differ.
Zombie Kill Trocity.
I think it's tryhard.
It sounds like that guy when you play an FPS and then they name your kill, double kill, triple kill.
I don't think it's
Zombie Kill Trocity.
Yeah, I don't think it's as alpha male as Lord. I don't think it's as alpha male as Lord Sandwich though.
Lord Sandwich.
King of the sandwiches. All shall bow down in his presence.
You must.
Bacon for all of my subjects.
We really need to get Dan on here. Is what needs to go down.
Yeah,
I'll send you a link here, Dan.
Yeah.
So that when we hit the World War Hell part, then you can. Here you go. StreamYard and Facebook.
All right. Well, what you guys got to step on it because I got to bounce at 7.
Ruh-roh.
That would be. Oh wow, that's really soon. Yeah, better.
Yeah,
better
it's really soon.
Okay. Well, for me, I heard you went to game design. I kind of dabble in that. I try to do concept art.
Yep.
For. Oh, there goes Dan. I try to do concept art and stuff like that, like designing different suits and people and stuff like that. So that I'm into that stuff.
Yeah, that was something that they were looking at me for. The guy, cause I don't really want to do. I don't want to give names and shit. But the guy who tapped me, the guy who gave me my invites and stuff, he was a lead concept artist for God of War. So so I thought, all right, cool. Like I said, I'm good. I'm in, right? So I'm concept art, dude. That shit's my wheelhouse, man. So yeah, show me what you got.
Hold on.
I mean, not too much. It's just stuff like this where I kind of like design.
Excuse me.
Rough designs for my guy Killproof here. Then different iterations of characters and stuff. But this
did
is
Elba look like?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite actors.
I love him, man. I loved him in The Wire. I thought he was fucking bomb in The Wire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was very good in The Wire. This is Green Geisha.
Yep.
But pretty much that's all I have here uploaded. But I could look for more stuff.
Yeah, I like it, man.
This stuff isn't my work, but it is my character. It's my IP, dice, and
Is it OC, please do not steal?
Yeah, no, it's original character. Yeah, it's my IP. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
What up? Who's speaking? Dan?
Oh yeah. Just making sure my mic is working.
Yep, loud and clear.
You ready, Tank?
Almost there.
Almost there.
Hold.
A little further. Almost there.
And the good news is a hedge fund collapsed, so that's awesome.
jeez.
Yeah, the White Square.
I
That shit
do
was
not
like a
know
week
which
ago.
one, but
Yeah, it was like a week ago. Some Diamond Hand apes fucked up White Square.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now to make everything collapse.
Collapsitarian in the house. All right.
Collapsitarian.
I'm one of those guys where I would just sit back with a marshmallow and watch the world burn. Laughing like, this is what you guys get. I've been telling you, stop doing it, but you're doing it. I would be the dad that would laugh at his son getting burnt on his stove when I told him not to.
Wait, this is nice. This
How else would he learn? I'm
Exactly.
sorry. What'd you say?
I said this is nice. Is yours?
Oh yeah. Actually, this is my work too. It's my IP
nice.
and also my art. Yeah. You know, I kind of like doing front and backs of characters.
Got to do full turn. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I usually draw like you see here an action pose in the middle, and up top, and like I do a full character sheet, right? Like it's usually like a 12 by 18 or 11 by 17.
Yep.
So I put 2 weapons up here, middle pistols, and a front view, back view, and then action shot in the middle. That's one kind of what do you call it? Setup, but the other kind of setup is
You got
like
isometric shot on the weapons instead of just profiles because, well, it's a hell of a lot more exciting.
Yeah, and it sort of it helps the modelers out too.
Oh, absolutely. Because when you start working with the 3D modeler, depending on who you get, man, oh man, they can make your life hell. What's this? How's it supposed to be? How's it supposed to connect here? Blah blah. It's like, all right, fine. Like sometimes you're actually doing the fucking actual technical drawing, showing where the screws go and shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that. Hold on, I had something. Give me a minute.
You ready,
I should go on Twitter.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so go ahead and give the brain cage tour here before AG takes off.
Give me one second. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Let me go there now.
So we're launching with Gun Demon. This is our first book.
Thanks, Ferret.
That's my book. It's basically a demon is sent to hell on a mission, comes to Earth, makes some friends, feels joy for the first time, decides that he doesn't really want to fuck Earth. So
he just wasn't that hot,
dude. He just wasn't that into Earth.
Oh well,
hard.
No, he don't want to fuck it over. He loves Earth. Like he was eating
hard.
He was eating bad food. He was eating bad food on planet Hell, treated like shit. He came over here and dudes were like playing video games with him. He turns into a gamer. You know, so he doesn't even want to fight. He enjoys fighting, but he doesn't even really want to do anything. But he gets wrapped up in this battle between the planets Heaven and Hell, which are planets in this shared universe. And they are inhabited by advanced aliens that our mythology stems from, like the wars between these planets and some other planets as well. We have a gate system, sort of like in Stargate, which is where how interplanetary travel is mostly done. And basically, Gun Demon is going to be the introduction to how things, work with Hell and Earth and all that kind of stuff for our Brain Cage universe. Then the next book is Dan Fogarty's World War Hell is going to just drop you straight into hell. Here you see Dima. He's a Russian character. He's an engineer. He's really good at rigging things up. Real badass there.
Why is he rocking the Pepe Shaw?
Dan will have to tell you that.
All right.
Yeah, it's based on World. It's based in World War II, and he basically, what's interesting about Dima is he comes from the Eastern Front, and he makes his way over to the Western Front when the Demon invasion happens, and he just jumps into a Jeep and just is like, fuck it, and just goes like literally plows through German lines to get to the Western Front.
We're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. We didn't explain. So basically, at the height of World War II, the gates to planet Hell open, and the army of Hell, basically the demon army, just wash out over the Axis and the Allied forces, just wiping out both sides. So the survivors have to band together to defend Earth from the invading demon hordes.
And this is what a typical one would look like?
That is a drone right there. That's it was previously a human that was captured and then turned into this to be the basic infantry.
Okay.
Designed by Carlos Villas. He's one of our main creature designers.
Okay.
Then right there we have the man himself. That's Blitzkrieg. He's the hero who grows out of World War Hell. And he was a German soldier, veteran of World War I, who has
He's got
been
a
living.
face like a butthole.
Yeah, he's got some different things going on there. But yeah, he's basically our Venom or Wolverine style character.
That's cool. Oh, you know, he reminds me of fucking Fulgore from Killer Instinct.
Oh, I can see that. The claws, right?
Yeah, with the little tubes and shit. He reminds me of fucking Fulgore, dude.
That's cool. I thought of that.
That's a cool design. I like it.
Combo breaker.
Yeah, there you go. Somebody remembers. Jesus.
That was such a great game.
It was.
It still is. I'm a retro gamer. I play all kinds of old school shit.
I don't play anything new. Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either really anymore. Now here we have
that's
a Frankentank. This is a rammer model. What basically happens is demons come through, wreck the tanks, and so they have to salvage and build new vehicles to fight the new enemy. So they start building these Frankentanks.
So these demons can be killed by like earth weapons?
Oh yeah, they're not supernatural. They're
okay.
Yeah, so there's no supernatural powers or creatures or places in our universe, our shared universe. It's all explained by aliens and advanced tech.
Okay.
Like all of mythology, basically. We've got Egyptian. Oof, what's all that noise?
Sorry, I think me.
Well, it's somebody's mic there.
That was me. I was adjusting. Okay.
Yeah, so basically we've in our shared universe, we're explaining Egyptian mythology, Greek mythology, just mythology from all over the world, basically using advanced technology and aliens. So it's been like a really fun kind of new take on old school mythology. We stay pretty close, to the stories, but we explain them a little differently. But what we do is we set up these scenarios, and then it's set in the modern world with superheroes, so what you see there, like Blitzkrieg, you're going to see him in the modern world eventually teaming up with my character Gunny. You're going to see the next book, Celerity the Huntress by Ben Phelps, Lord Sandwich here. And this is just a gorgeous design by Carlos here. This is her antique armor suit when she arrives on Earth, and her modern suit currently is in design as well right now. We'll be revealing soon. You want to take this one, Ben?
Oh, sure. Let's just say Black Widow ain't got nothing on her.
Damn right.
Well, first off, Celerity is the speedster of the Brain Cage universe. So she's got that going for her. Also, her armor is not just your average plain armor. There's plenty of hidden surprises there. And it's also adaptable to go into extreme environments such as space. The red lines that you can see towards the bottom is activated, in battle mode. So that's kind of like battle mode or battle ready. And she also has a tail, which you can't see in this picture. But this tail is hollow and holds an enzyme that when she stabs you with it, liquefies your organs where she drinks you up for a nice morning slushy.
Wow, that sounds hot.
She brings the boys to her yard for a milkshake.
Yeah.
Only you're the milkshake.
Exactly.
The beauty of this... Sorry,
and
Ben,
she
go ahead.
was based off of the legend of the succubus is based off of her in this universe. And she's also the inspiration. I took inspiration for her from the honeypot traps. So there is that.
Yeah, so basically she's hired, or not hired, but she's basically enslaved to Hera, the wife of Zeus. And she was designed, genetically engineered. And Space Karen. And so basically she's designed to be a powerful assassin. And she also has equipment that basically she's where the mythology of illusionists also come from, because she has a hologram projector. It can also emit sound so that she can create realistic looking illusions. Back when she was known as Eris, the Herald of Hera, when she would show up to scare the so-called mortals, she would use that hologram projector and a lot of sound, produce a lot of decibels, and frighten them as if she has godlike power. She would be in different forms. But she found for assassin missions, if her target's weakness was vanity or anything like that, or he was attracted to her, she found it was just easier to assassinate someone by using her attractiveness, and that's where that reputation came from for the succubus mythology.
Okay.
So then we have what should be launching at this point. We know the first 3 books that are launching. That's from World War Hell, by the way. Some more images there, some more of the characters, and that's one of the Frankentank. That there is Prang. He's one of the Hellions, one of the badasses. He's got
that
some.
reminds me of the Jinro, the Wolf Brigade.
Yeah. It's in the best way. Like.
Yeah. And all the scariness shit that you would expect. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this guy here, he's a hardcore dude. His name's Hans Mueller, and he's codenamed Prang, which is World War II slang for to smash or bomb a target. And he's a beast. Do you have Hellcast images?
No, but
here we go.
21 Demons.
Yeah,
I don't know what Chris. See, that's one of the reasons why I'm beating down Chris's door. Is like, dude, give me some teasers. Give me some teasers.
Yeah. What we have here is 21 Demons by Paul Roper, and this is going to be our first launch under Braincage Unlimited. The difference is that the titles we showed you so far are in a shared universe called Braincage Continuity that has the rules: no supernatural powers, no time travel, and no alternate realities. However, our Braincage Unlimited label, anything goes. We can do what ifs, satires, anything supernatural, time travel, anything that any of the creators of Braincage want to produce. One shots, miniseries, whatever. Paul Roper's been working on 21 Demons since I think about 2001. And he's been going out there learning from the best of the best, approaching people like Mark Silvestri at conventions, getting advice, being yelled at for being bad and told to get better. And he's getting better. And in fact, he is awesome now. What you're seeing here is some of his old work. He's been working really hard the last probably 4 months or so and producing a lot more and finishing the book and cleaning it up. And now he's hired Ibrahim Aden to do colors for him. And Ibrahim's one of the best in the business. He's also a colorist on World War Hell and Celerity the Huntress. And so you're going to be seeing, really major color, improvements on 21 Demons from here on out.
For real.
So that's going to be our first unlimited launch right there. Here's some from Apex Predator. Tank, you want to take it? This is also another Braincage Unlimited launch here. This is Tank's Universe.
A story of a cybernetic organic android. Cyberdroid for short. Yeah, that's right. I'm coining a new phrase here, guys. I had to come up with a phrase because there's nothing out there like it. Basically, the prototype has been out for a decade. The alpha models have hit the general market, and the prototype wants to retain its place as the apex predator in the concrete jungle, the pinnacle of technological advancement, the murderous killer itself. Also, I've got in the same universe. Now we're talking about Braincage Unlimited. See, Braincage Unlimited also has its own universes, which is incredibly fun. We got Tales from the 99er, which is a slice of life cyberpunk anthology featuring a lot of little short stories, people's extraordinary experiences in an unusual world. We got a quick shot of the people from the stories that you will hear in season 1 of Tales from the 99er. Of course, Imprecious and her tinfoil trail that she goes down. It's going to be quite fun. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. A cyber frog. And here we got Scalpel 12, one of the alpha models. No bullshit. Field tested and deployed to the Panama war zone. Each of these has machine learning, so it's not a bunch of emotionless, vapid gynoids like we see in a lot of these robot type deals. This isn't a sex fantasy. This is a story about technology and that uncanny valley between what we consider to be a person and what not. It's got all the elements you want in your cyberpunk, to include a bittersweet ending. That's right. I'll go ahead and spoil the ending because the story is that damn good. And here, of course, we got Scalpel Zero, one of her mini outfits. Here, she's a little skimpy, spinning around on the wall, taking some fire, kind of fun stuff like that. But I am super duper excited for World War Hell, man. I love all this stuff. Like Gun Demon, dude. Gun Demon and Scalpel Zero are the new power couple for comics. I'm just I'm dropping that. And I'll fight you on it. You just tell me what gym. I'll meet you. I'll pie your punk ass. No, I'm just kidding.
World War Hell is really exciting. We've put, like, when I say we, I mean Brain Cage. Like, it's been a fucking, like, just, I mean, honestly, it's been amazing. Like when Spyco, for example, was in there for a couple weeks there building the Frankentank models. I think that's the most excited and the most active our Discord channel's ever been. We were all in there giving input and just like, whoa, check that out. Yeah, put that gun up there. Fuck yeah, woo! And we're watching.
Those are the best. Like when you're in those early stages and you're just kind of just throwing shit together. Those are the fucking best. I love those stages where you're just throwing shit out there and you're just building things. That's my favorite stage of developing a story. Love it.
Well, what I love is we're actually building a company, a multimedia company led by creatives, not suits, creatives. And the whole point of this is going to, the whole mission statement is going to trickle down into the model, the business model, in which we want to keep it feeling like indie. You know, if we reach our goals and hit mainstream level with our company, we still want the studios and the internal offices and everything to feel indie. Like, we love being there. We love doing what we're doing. And we don't want people around who don't fucking love it. You know what I mean? Like, we all love it. This is our dream come true. And every day is exciting. Every new piece of art that's revealed, every new, we have all these amazing designers and we commission them. And then when we get the new commission in, it's a fucking party in our Discord. Like, Dan will be like, hey, I got that new design from Carlos, and we're all like, whoa, and it's, this is how it has to be. This is
I love the energy, enthusiasm. Like I remember when I was doing my own stuff way back in the day too. You guys got me all nostalgic on my own shit. It's kind of funny.
That's great. I love that. The whole thing is it's excitement. It's genuine excitement.
Yes,
it can't be synthesized.
Yeah. And that is what I think is missing from a lot of stuff on the shelf right now. Nobody loved it.
Yeah,
right? They just did it. Right.
Business.
They saw it as a vessel to launch their message, or they just did it for a paycheck, and it shows.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing wrong with making money and doing something that you love. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can tell when the love is there and when it isn't. You can tell when somebody loves something, right? And that's what I see. That's what has me so disenfranchised, is that this thing that I grew up with, this thing that I love so much of it, don't love it. They don't love it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it sucks to be like, yeah, I'm a fan, but I haven't bought anything in fucking 12 years.
Yeah.
Right? It fucking sucks.
Let me ask you, you have a page you said, like on Facebook? You know any writers on there?
I won. I didn't win. I was nominated for the Russell Manning Award in writing by Comic-Con International San Diego in 2004, way back in the day.
Oh shit, that's good. I'm looking for a writer. If you can, like, if you know anybody, I can only afford to pay about $125 per issue, right? So that's like 22 pages.
Yeah.
And I can only afford to pay $125 per issue. It's
Okay.
like maybe 3 or 4 issues. It's not big stuff like Brain Cage stuff. Brain Cage stuff is epic. You know, my stuff is kind of like something small. It'll probably be like 2 or 3 issues, or probably 4.
Here's the thing: my creative network, if you will, has changed dramatically in the past few years, even. Whereas I totally knew and had friends in 3D and this and that, whatever. I don't have that anymore. I kind of walked away from all that. I have a different creative network that is no longer like I work in mostly costume and clothing design right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's still happy, but as far as being able to get you a writer or get you a storyboard guy or something like that.
No, I mean I'd be doing the art. I mean, don't worry about that.
I mean, like,
if it's art, I got it.
You'd be doing the story. You'd be doing the art, but the storyboard is a bit different too.
I mean storyboard.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's not for a movie. It's for a comic.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as like the talent pool that I have now is not the kind that could really help you guys at the moment. I mean, I could try tapping some old roots and stuff, maybe. And
hey, I'm the one who's asking. I don't think they Brain Cage asked for writers. I think they got their own writers. I was just asking, by the way, like a by the by for me, because I already have.
I mean, it's a long shot, dude.
We actually have need for all types of different talents in different creative industries right now. We're literally building a multimedia company. These IPs are comic books, but we also have video games in the works right now. We have action figures that we're getting into all of this stuff. We're literally we're working to replace Marvel and DC. That's our goal.
Hey, look, you don't have a game until McAfee kills himself to get out of it. All right.
Yep.
Some people actually thought that was true, and that's why I had to say, no, that's a fucking joke. Like,
oh, wow.
when I said, oh yeah, I was John McAfee, he faked his death to get out of making that game I pestered him about. People thought I was serious. Right. People thought I was serious. I'm like, actually, no, guys, it's a fucking joke. Like,
be like, just say no, man. You don't need to. I mean, you don't want to make my game.
Well, it's hard to tell what is a joke and what's not a joke.
Right.
And everything is taken when so much clown shoes garbage comes out of people's mouths.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there was a time where I wasn't on the net very much, and I was like looking around, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is alarming stuff. And then I looked into it. I was like, well, this is bullshit. This is baseless, actually. And then I go and look at, what they're saying. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy talk. This is nuts.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Like, dog whistles. Don't even do. If somebody says dog whistles to me, to my face, I'm gonna give them some words which the Supreme Court will back me up on. And that I will say, those are fighting words. Would you please not say that? That is me being nice, because if they say that damn dog whistle thing again, I'm gonna slap them, because I've given them ample warning. By law, I have completed my legal obligation. All right, you can look this up. The Supreme Court ruled on this. Fighting words is no longer a state's issue, it's a federal issue. So out here in California, I'm gonna leave my fingerprints upside your face. I'm gonna ask for some powder.
Kapow!
Powder me, because it's time for a lesson.
Boom!
All right, you know what I'm saying? This is the energy that Brain Cage is bringing. This was actually just a panel from CK Comics. I did a thing called Caliber. It's a wonderful comic. I did a 6-page shot and whatnot. But that's I love this panel. I normally hate all of my artwork, and I can nitpick about this, about how bad it is. But one
I hate
thing
all
I
my
do
shit.
like,
I hate all my shit every day, all day. I just hate it. Like
and
all you
this is
see is because all you see is your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
But
Yep.
this is that energy, that kapow. Like this in this scene, this hero, this guy in the white shirt, he's a superhero, and he's never had a normal life. So he decides to play hooky one night for being a superhero, and go to a club and live like a normal person. And he gets into a fist fight with this asshole, like this total man pig piece of garbage asshole, right? Who was written very well, right? You know, the guy was sleazy and just a total jerk. And he deserved to get socked in the face. Not like this, though. And that was part of the story, the overreaction. But the Wokies went and embraced that moment. And it's like, you're not supposed to embrace that moment. You're supposed to cringe at that. And because a few panels later, after the heroes beat this dude's face into oblivion, he looks down and see what he's done and looks around at the people. Like the whole party stopped. The music stopped. You know, everybody's staring in absolute horror and disgust at what this guy has done. He realizes that
kind of like real life.
He went too far, and you know, he books it out of there, and you know, kind of like sour grapes the whole experience.
Wait,
of trying
you
to live a
mean
normal
made
life.
it just stand up and start clapping?
Yeah, no, beautifully written. Scott Weldon.
From
man,
Snapsies.
I gotta plug him, dude. He's got this comical Harlan Buck free sword. I think he's got 6 or 7 issues out by now.
Say that title again. Sorry, couldn't make it out.
Harlan Buck free sword.
Type it out in chat too.
Yeah, it's a great book, man. And it's absolutely fantastic. And he's a great writer, you know, and he wrote this, and we had this synergy going on, he and I would love to work with him another day. I'm going to type that stuff out here in a little bit as soon as I can free up. I'm tired. I haven't woken up yet. But anyway, stuff that Brain Cage is bringing, right? That energy. This is a prototype, right? So we got an STL campaign coming out here shortly for 3D printing files.
Nice.
All right, for miniatures for your tabletop game, for role-playing needs, for wargaming needs. We're going to have it compatible with, I use that in head quotations, compatible with rules, so that way you just print and play. If you want to put a little more into it and come up with your own rules, nobody's stopping you, because that's the fun of it. I just want you to have fun. And I got this thing, it's called the Iron Maidens, the Fembopocalypse. The tagline is, mankind's time has come to an end. And yeah, it's going to be full of all sorts of feminist puns and stuff. And if the feminazis and the big toes are offended, then I feel like I've done my job. So that way all the moments can just have a little bit of fun. You can print it out big, like 4 to 6 inches, and pull out, there's detail you don't see in this, right? You can blow this up. This is small. This is done at 1/48 scale, so it's about 2 inches tall, right?
Okay.
It's about the size of your standard Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, standard minifig, yeah.
Right, Pathfinder, a tabletop gaming fig, right? But you can print this out 4 to 6 inches and bring out this beautiful detail, and custom pose to a limited degree. You can custom pose these. You're going to give you a kit. You know, that's one of the perks that you're going to be able to buy, is just buy the kit. And be able to just kind of have fun with it. Or you can get the pre-assembled models, or I should say they're not pre-assembled. They require minimal assembly, and they fit together nicely. You can do your own. You can kind of customize them a little bit as far as posing goes. I know how you modelers and your green stuff go out there. This was designed with you in mind as well. And this took what we've been working on. We've been working on this for what, 4-5 months now. Working this back and forward. Rejecting ideas, going through prototypes to make sure that this is a top. And this is what we do at Brain Cage. We make sure that this is a top quality product. If there's no back padding going on a Brain Cage. If somebody thinks, hey man, this is lacking, this doesn't rise to the challenge, there's no hurt feelings.
Then you whoop their ass. Make them say they're sorry.
Right. There's no hurt feelings. It's all professional. It's like, oh wow, that's a good point. Or you know what, I disagree. And then we start pulling out reference material. But that's a crazy thing, right? We actually start pulling out examples of where it doesn't work, and we come to a logical decision, because that line of editing, that line of quality control, that's the first line of defense for you consumers to make sure that you get this quality product. We're not here for a cash grab. We're not here for a big profit margin. We're here for the long game. We want to be entertaining you in the next 20, 30, 100 years when our great grandchildren are involved, hopefully, are involved in the company, and barring that, somebody competent who has earned their way through merit is now sitting at that round table, and we're setting up that infrastructure. So it's going to be a round table. We're not going to have the collapse of image. We're not going to have that separation that has like
the inner competition.
Yeah, either everyone's a rock star or no one is. I know that sounds a little communistic, but that's the communism that works, though. That's called teamwork. That's called camaraderie. That's called siblinghood, I guess would be the politically correct way of saying that without getting all politically correct. Because we got brothers and sisters up in there. We got brothers and sisters. We're all brothers and sisters up in there. And we don't virtue signal about that nonsense. Nobody knows, because we're letting the fans decide who the rock stars are. Pardon me.
Damn that frog.
I also have a world premiere for you guys too when we get them in. I sent it to Tank.
Hang on, guys, because I got to part ways with you guys.
Oh,
okay,
please.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
No, it was fun, man. I'm glad I did this, and you guys are fucking great.
You'll have to come back, dude.
Yeah, you'll have to come back.
I love it.
So sorry I came in late. I had just fallen asleep and or kind of dozed off. I would have been in here and spent more time in, but work sucks.
Yeah, done it though. But anyway, guys, yeah, I appreciate you guys bringing me in. I'd love to come back again if you're all right with it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Just you know how to get a hold of me. Just send me a message, and I'll pop in. All right.
You know it. We do this pretty much every day. Sometimes we might skip a day here and there or something, but yeah, pretty much every day.
Pretty much every day we stream.
Have a great night, man.
Hey, you guys take care, man.
All right, bro.
All right. Thanks for having me again. See you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you very much for coming on.
All right.
But I was going to say I got a world premiere for you though, Mr. or Bro Tap.
Yeah.
I sent it to Tank on Discord.
All right,
and okay, not a problem. But anyway, this is going to be Sarge out of his mech suit. What he kind of looks like.
Okay.
Sarge is the leader of the Hellions and pretty much the army of the humans in World War Hell.
Cool. Let's see.
Yeah, he was a sergeant. All the guys above him were wiped out. He's kind of like we kind of modeled him in part off of Winters from Easy Company, World War II Easy Company, and also they covered his story pretty damn well in Band of Brothers.
Oh, cool.
If you guys watch that.
But who's the guy doing those digital paintings of like the guy you call Hans Mueller, for example, and the other guy with the machine gun?
Yeah, that's Chris Oak. That's
Chris Oak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is so talented. I lucked out on getting two extremely talented people because Greg went and just basically searched around for me. Oh, let me go and tell you about my Sarge here. Right. Sarge is that weapon he has right there. That's called a Trax. It's basically the reason it's called a Trax. It's because it's an axe, or was it? It's a axe that's made out of a tank track.
Oh, that's sick.
That's why it's called a Trax. He also too, because he's in the mech too. If something gets up close to him or busts the window open or something like that, he's got a Winchester shotgun to shoot that damn thing off. And because even in some suits and mechs and all, it shows you how fierce these things are. They'll get up close. They'll start busting in and trying to. It's like a can of tuna to them almost. They'll start like trying to poke holes in it to get the meat out.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's how lethal they are. These things are just, as Greg called them, hunger incarnate. They want to eat you.
And who designed this? right here. Who did the figure and all that? That was you,
Oh no, that was Chris Oak.
Chris Oak. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Great
is a rough.
work.
This is a rough sketch here. He does these mock-ups first, and then he ends up with what you saw of Prang and Demon, those
Okay.
types of designs.
I've got a friend him on Twitter. Is he Chris Oak on Twitter?
Chris Oak artist, I think.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
At
Yeah.
Chris Oak Art, I believe.
All right, that was close.
Chris Oak art. Yeah, let me friend him real quick. Fantastic work.
He's been sort of out of commission for a bit. He sometimes disappears.
Oh, we already follow each other.
He'll come back sometime soon and have a bunch of awesome art to show us. And
Yeah, that's
it'll
what I
be
was going to try
exciting.
to do, is try to get him on the show so he can show off more of his wares. You know.
Chris is a really interesting guy. He's a really good conversationalist. He goes really in depth into things. If he bothers to know about it or look into it, he goes very in depth. Very much an introvert, and just picks apart those details. And how it comes through in his designs is he'll research. Like for World War Hell designs, for example, these characters. If you look at Dima right there, for example, he researched, and
Very
this
good.
this is all accurate stuff. Like all of the parts you see are from World War II vehicles, and he even researched to see what a fucking World War II Russian screwdriver looks like to put that up there on the vest. I mean, you know what I mean?
Shit.
And it's it's a little rough design there, but he actually has a close-up design that he did of one of them. He goes way in depth. There was a commission he did for Company Men that he spent about 2 weeks on, and it was legit inside of a carrier, like a troop transport plane. I'm not sure what you call them. Tank might know.
Oh
Something like a C-130 or something like that.
I think
It
so.
looked like I think it was a C-17.
Okay.
Was the actual model he used. I'm gonna bring up that picture.
Yeah, and he put so much time into each object that he placed in that scene. He put a lot of thought into them. He wanted to have the jam box from Predator, when they're in the airplane and it's playing music and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he wanted to throw that in there as a little Easter egg. So he looked up. He tried to find. It took him a while to find an image of that. Believe it or not, to find that exact Jambox model, and he emulated it. And just copied that image, or not copied it, but designed. Set the design after that image, so it was accurate. It's just hilarious. He goes through all of that. It's just awesome. That's what you pay for when you get a Chris Oak commission. And Carlos Villas as well. Both of those guys have been the total workhorses of Brain Cage this entire time. Like we hire those guys and they go through stages with us where we always have them changing things over time and stuff. And they really put in the work. Some of these characters you saw designed took 4 or 5 months to get to the final design.
Because when you publish it, you can't take it back.
Yep.
That you pass that point of no return.
Yep.
Where if you're gonna do a redesign of a character, you gotta be careful, because now there's a fan
unless you're
base
Marvel and
invested in
DC.
that design.
Unless you're Marvel and DC, in which case, you don't care about nothing matters.
Yeah, you got so much. You believe you have so much money that you can do whatever you want.
Nothing matters.
Yeah,
except for that comic.
And I hope this doesn't come across as pretentious, but we think what we're doing is setting the next level of comic book character design, because what we're doing is designing characters that will work on the screen as well as in video games and action figures across the board. And there aren't really many out there doing that, taking that approach. I consider that modern entertainment design, is when you design something that works across all the mediums and industries. So whereas we had a huge explosion of a new type of character design in the early 90s with Image, we haven't really had an explosion since. Nothing worthy of note. I think what we're doing, at least I hope what we're doing, is that next level.
And it is. It is from what I've seen.
Guys, I'm having a hard time finding this picture.
But yeah, Chris too. He sent me some. Oh God, I wish I could show it, but he sent me concepts of the Sarge's mech right now. But that's still kind of early stage. But oh yeah, God, I could just make. One day I want to make a freaking coffee book of just the concept art because he just goes so hardcore into it.
No kidding.
It's so amazing.
Well,
it's fun to be a part of.
Well, that's one of the great things about Brain Cage is that we're going to have that opportunity because we did put that development into it. Like, you're going to get your World War Hell concept book. You're going to get your Gun Demon concept book. You're going to get your Scalpel Zero concept book because there's so much developmental work that went into this, so much refining. And not to seem boastful at all. I mean, I am proud of the hard work that we're putting into it, but I do understand that the final qualifier as to is this good or not. Here we go.
Oh, that's so sick.
Look at that.
Yep. I love the depth. I love the lighting. Like I sat down with Chris Oak one night, late night on Discord, and I had 2 lessons over a couple of nights that amounted to about 6 or 7 hours where he was teaching me color theory, and it was man. And that's another thing I love about Brain Cage is that we want everyone to succeed. You know, we want top notch. And so there's no backstabbing, no double crossing or sabotaging or any of that nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In fact, Bob, what's been happening is we've been drawing a lot of the talents in Comicsgate who don't want to be a part of gay ops. They just want to create and they want to hone their skills and get better and create some cool stuff. Now, this creature here, don't switch yet. Here's an example. Here's an example of our work in progress process, right? So we've been showing this design for about 3 or 4 months. This was the second main design for this creature here. This is the Destroyer Demon. You'll see it first in Gun Demon #1, and actually on page 2. In fact, you'll see one of these son of a bitches. But basically, page 3. But these things here, okay, if you look at the design, there are 3 things that are going to change. Carlos is going to do the final design here in the near future as soon as I can afford the commission. I'm fucking broke. But basically, 3 things are going to change. The head is changing, the chest, and then especially the pincers. Now, I love this design. We all love this. Like when he brought this design, we were like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is the Destroyer Demon right here. That's a 6-foot human for scale underneath, by the way. So that's how big these things are. This is the heavy cavalry for the demon army. So we knew they needed to be impressive, and they had to be, since they're large, they had to have ways of defending their large form from smaller beings, right? So that's where the tentacles, all these claws, different things come out the back. It's not just for show. These things are lethal. But as an action figure, look at those pincers. I caught this a little bit late. I was like, that might hurt somebody. And there may be kids. This might be a kid's favorite toy when we put this toy out. So we're going more with a different pincer design that is more rounded on the edge, and it's thicker. And it looks just as cool, maybe even cooler. But you'll be seeing those changes soon. So like we say, until it is shipped, it's subject to change. And we want to make sure all of this works across all of those mediums. That's an example of what we do.
Cool.
Speaking of final concept, I actually have the final updated. I just sent it to Tank of the Rammer. What it's finally going to look like.
No shit. I haven't even seen this yet.
So world premiere to everybody. Spyco and I got with each other one more night for and we got we put little Chotskis on that and all that because we asked Tank about it. It says, hey, what do tankers do with their tanks and all that type of stuff? And Tank gave us input. But yeah, I sent it to him over Discord. So this is going to be what it finally looks like. And one of the interesting things, those spikes all over it, those little sharp edges, those are actually tank tracks that they've actually sharpened down so that when they ram into stuff, it'll take chunks out of you. Let's see.
I don't see anything yet. I don't see
hold
anything
on.
yet.
Okay,
Yeah, and by
I'm
the
still
way,
downloading.
that's another part of our formula too. Is that most of our fucking team are military, with a lot of them with extensive experience in different parts of the military. So basically, none of the gunplay, unless done on purpose, there we go. That's a beauty right there. None of the gunplay, unless on purpose, is going to be hokey. You understand what I mean? Like it's all legit. The guns are legit. The way that they're used are legit. It won't insult the minds of military personnel watching our movies, reading our books, or any of this stuff. You understand what I mean? Like, and that's the thing Hollywood's been doing wrong for a long time. Is what they've been doing is they insult the very people who are the most excited about the movies that they put out. Like, take The Revenant, right? That movie, The Revenant, with Leonardo DiCaprio. So the character he played in that role was actually a real historical figure who is actually, a lot of people really respect this guy, a lot of historians and outdoorsmen and survivalists. And The Revenant is chock full of shit that is just unrealistic, really bad wilderness survival shit. Like, for example, dude would have died to hypothermia seconds into that like scene in the water. He's in it for like 2 minutes. Les Stroud walked out of the movie 20 minutes into it. He walked out pissed off. Now, if I'm going to make a movie about wilderness survival and a historical figure, me and my team are going to work our asses off to make sure that the people that are really into those topics are going to walk away satisfied. The normies will like anything that's exciting and entertaining, right? But you want to satisfy the hardest sells, the people who really are into that stuff and passionate about that kind of stuff. World War II aficionados are going to go crazy over World War Hell. They're going to see some dream come true kind of shit with Russian, German, US, British, all these different types of tanks and weapons like combined in these creative ways. It's insanity. It's like this massive epic fucking throwdown. There's even superheroes in the mix. Golden Age World War II superheroes. A few of them are actually public domain characters that actually were legit superheroes back in those days, used for propaganda. So it's just a big epic throwdown. What did you want to say about this vehicle here, Dan?
This vehicle is actually made up of mostly two different vehicles. The body is a T-34. The top of it is a Tiger tank turret. Now, a lot of people said, well, there were no T-34s on the Western Front. And I said, yes, there were. Because because this takes place in France, a lot of times the Germans would send their second tier stuff, the reserve stuff, to the Western Wall, or to that side, because they didn't think that the Allies had it in them to go and like do a D-Day. So they would go and they actually took all their good shit and all their good units. They sent them to the Eastern Front, where the Russians were really hurting them hard. And so that's why they have a T-34 on that front. You're going to also see that too. You're going to see some of the rarer weapons when we get into there. Like they had World War I MGs that they were still using. The Germans were still using. Don't be surprised if you might see, like, in one of the issues, Blitzkrieg pick one of those up and start going ham or praying. Because I really, really want to like try to give a really great perspective about what was there during World War II, especially around that time. And I love looking up the rare stuff, that common but rare. If I put that on there.
I'm just going to drop in a little bit of tank history here. All right, so this is a Russian T-35, which was largely received as a giant piece of garbage. Spain had a few, but Germany was the largest deployer of these during World War II, and they deployed these on the Western Front. In fact, actually, they used, which is really funny, they used one of these to block a main road into Berlin to keep the Soviets from coming in. They blocked the road with their own tank that they bought like a decade before. This thing's like a land battleship, the Russian T-35, but it was largely received as a piece of garbage. So that's just to give you a little historical precedence on the validity of these guys deploying some Germans deploying Russian-made stuff.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting too is during the Battle of Berlin, the Germans had a like a victory museum where they took all the tanks and all that they had taken over the years when they were conquering everything. So when they were running out of stuff, they're like, "Oh shit!" They started going in and taking some of the worst tanks that they had captured and throwing them into service. They were taking French. Let me see, a couple of French. They were taking Soviet, Netherlands, anything. They even actually, for their army, when they invaded Poland, they actually took a bunch of the Czech tanks when they first got there because the Czech tank was actually good. The Germans were not afraid to take. If it was a good tank, they would reuse it. And that's what's actually really interesting because the Germans actually, at the beginning of the war, the middle, and the end, had a hodgepodge of tanks. And the Russians, which was funny as hell too. The Russians would, if they took a tank, they would just they would take a Russian or a German tank and they just use it until it broke, which was funny as hell. You'd see like basically the Russians would take they'd see Panther tank, that's brand new. One of the crews would take it and they would use it until the transmission or something blew in it, and they would get out and get into something else. Ooh, excuse me.
Sorry, fellas. I'm actually talking to some people who want to come on the show. There's a guy who has a campaign. People are responding to the posts that you guys and I have been putting out. People are responding to it, and they want to come on the show and promote like you guys are doing here. So there's a guy named Daddy Duder, and he has a yeah he has a he's out in Japan, and he has a project here. You know what? I mean, I'm trying to tell him to come on, but he's not responding yet. But he just asked me. That's why I'm a little bit far away.
Not a problem.
All right, hold on. Let me see. He has a link to his Indiegogo. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it anyway, and then when he can, he'll come in. But let me get to this Indiegogo. I'm trying to load it right now. But yeah, that is riveting stuff with how you guys are applying real world applications to these fictional. Well, I mean, they're not fictional tanks, but the way that you guys are using them is sort of fictional in order to kill demons and stuff like that. People, there are hobbyists who will really, really dig this stuff, and they're gonna want to mix and match pieces. Do you guys have any plans on making pieces that they can mix and match?
Yes, sir, we do. We got a plan for that. It's coming.
We're World War II buffs and nerds, and we like monsters and vehicles and all this kind of stuff. So, there's no doubt about it. It's this is what's got us all excited. We've all been pitching in on this project at least a little bit, or at least supporting on some way, because it's just so. God, there's so much there. It's unreal.
Okay, give me a second here. Give me a second. I'm gonna switch to my screen just a little bit. I'll come back to the tanks later, all that tanky goodness later. But give me a second.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I've taken up too much of your time anyway.
Oh no, that's what the show's for, man. Don't worry about it. Hold on.
God, I love those models.
Dude, I can't wait till we get them printed up.
Oh man, yeah. Dad and Duder.
Okay, so give me a second. Let me read. I'm gonna read his crowdfunder here. Well, actually, he doesn't have the crowdfunder yet. What he has is the sign up page. Nin Nin Nini, the crown thief, a young ninja must find the dastardly deviant who stole the Bichon. That sounds like it's some sort of insult, but the Bichon crown. Sign up and get free. That's all you're gonna give us, Duder, Daddy Duder. Nin Nin Nini, and the Crown Thief. love comics, manga, ninja, and dogs, then you're in luck, my friends, because you're gonna love Nin Nin Ninny. It's gonna have 32 pages of awesome ninja fun and adventure, and an always hungry dog called Leo. All right, so for those of you who like that sort of project, go ahead and sign up. I will share a link to his sign up sheet, his what do you call these?
That's a pre-launch page.
Pre-launch page. Thank you. I'm gonna drop a link to his pre-launch page in the comments section so that you guys can go check it out. I'll probably put it in the description as well. All right, so all right, Tank, we'll get back to you now.
All right, no worries, no worries.
I'm
I
going to head out.
Thanks for coming, Ben.
Yep, no problem. Have a great night, guys.
You too, dude.
All right, you too, man. As always, you're always welcome back here, and we expect it. come on through again. All right.
Yep.
Cool, man.
Have a great one, all.
All right, you too.
One of the things I'm going to try to do too, because I actually, do you know what skins are?
No, what's that?
There's a game that was out called War Thunder, and you.
Oh, skins. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
What I used to do is I used to make a bunch of alt history skins, and I tried to implement the characteristics of the plane into the design itself. For this one right here, the rammer, we actually call her Hot Mama. The rammer. It's when it's finally done, you're gonna love the way that I implemented the design, or hopefully we can do it. Implement the design of the shark's teeth in there, so it's gonna look awesome when it finally happens.
Yeah, the name was that's right out of that era's slang, and usually like in those days, a lot of the tankers and the pilots and such, they would name their vehicles after a woman or something like that, and they'd have like a painting of a chick, like hot chick on there, and they'd call it their baby or something like that. So we went along with that sort of tradition with Hot Mama here, and also because it's the Hellion Company, so the name has to start with an H. So this is the Hot Mama right here. This is the one that rolls in and breaks up the demon front line. That's what Hot Mama's built to do.
Okay.
My grandfather in World War II, the reason I'm very, very particular about the tanks is my grandfather was a tanker in World War II. And his company, or his tank, was actually called Sunray Peach. And it was because he was from Georgia. And one of the things was I'm so particular on that because, I'm just... That's one of the things I heavily researched in World War II. When he was still alive, I would ask him about this, and it was kind of hard to get. I didn't understand as a kid to kind of get the information out of him, but that a lot of veterans don't really want to tell you about some of the bad stuff they did in World War II. But finally, after I got some information out of him, when I got a little bit older, he told me interesting things about the tanks and all that. And what I did too is I took the information from Tank over here, who was an actual tanker, and I said, "Hey, what do they do to their tanks?" Because that was the one thing I never asked him, which I wish I would have asked him back in the day when I was about his tank. They try to make their tank is their home, so they'll start customizing it. For example, he was telling me about those little barbs they put on the side. You see that? Those backpacks that are hanging off?
Yeah.
Those are like the little holding areas that they have. They'll put stuff on there. I know in World War II, they took a lot of they used like cargo netting. A lot of times they just cargo net the hell out of it. That's why you see a lot of stuff like if you watch a movie like Fury, you literally see like tightened up cargo nets on the side. The Americans, what they would do too is because the Sherman tank was so crappy, like it had crappy armor back in the day, they would go and take sandbags and actually strap them to the front of the tank to try to give them a little bit better protection. You'll also see like other little touches that they would do. They would put like they would attach logs and stuff in there to help them get over mud and stuff on the sides and the back. Just little interesting things like that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's attention to detail, man. I like that.
Yeah.
It gets me hard.
Yeah, see, and I think the people who are really into this kind of stuff are truly going to appreciate the amount of work we're going into here, and I think it'll make a big difference.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm about to start wrapping things up. It's 2 hours 30 minutes. So for those of you who are catching the playback, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platform, go ahead, share a link to this video, share a link to this channel. We want to grow this platform. Currently, we're at like 180 or something subs. We want to get to 500 subs so that we can have more brains in the room. Okay, more feedback, more interaction, more interplay. So go ahead and do that. And until next time, try to enjoy the daylight. Bro, tap out.